What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 9 of C4S Villains. I am your host, JB, and I am here, as always, with my co-host, Legendy Vash, and we are here once again with the spiciest lady, my fellow Jaegerist, Spicy Lady herself from the Spicy Lady Talks podcast. Vash, Spicy, thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode.
Hey, thank you for having me again. So fast.
And I appreciate you having me here all the time because it's such a lovely time to talk about villains. And twice this week. This week is going to be packed. This coming Friday, this episode itself, Flash, Superman Lois, and this coming week. Whew, a lot to talk about, a lot to review.
Yeah, this week is absolutely stacked. Like Vash said, we're going to be talking Superman and Lois. Today we're going to be talking about The Flash. The Snyder Cut is Thursday. Falcon and Winter Soldier is Friday. Yo, there's so much to talk about this week, and I absolutely can't wait to get into it. So I want to just dive straight into the news because there's a couple news topics that I wanted to talk about with you guys. So the Snyder Cut, like I just talked about, hits on Thursday. If you guys didn't know, the Snyder Cut leaked on HBO Max a couple days ago under Tom and Jerry. Have no idea how that happened, but it was trending on Twitter and they took it down so quickly. But Spicy, I want to start with you. I want to gauge like your expectations for the Snyder Cut and if you've seen any of like the early reviews so far.
I that's the thing. So after watching like the little trails that they would post to kind of get us hype, I didn't really feel anything. Like, like I don't really have any high expectations, but I did see that they've been kind of having this whole like with adding Darkseid into it, the whole thing, and Cyborg more. So it's like that's all fine and dandy, but it's not enough to get me hype. So I'm curious as to see how this is, and like some of the Ray Fisher was hyping it up on his Twitter account, saying that it was really good. So I'm just trying to have an open mind with that, but DC lets me down too much, so I'm just trying to protect myself and be like neutral and all of this. Like I want to be excited.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. Like, I'm super excited because, I mean, I love Zack Snyder. I love his movies. Like,
Yes.
Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite zombie movies.
Sucker Punch, my favorite movie.
His Watchmen movie
Yes.
is awesome. You know what I mean? So it's like giving him 4 hours to tell this Justice League movie. I'm really, really excited. The reviews have been really mixed. Variety called it one of the best comic book movies ever made. They put it up there with like The Dark Knight and stuff. Then I saw some other outlets saying that it's just, it's still a mess, just 4 hours long this time. So the reviews are just really mixed. Vash, what are your thoughts on it?
How are you such a huge company and mess up this bad and under Tom and Jerry? Like, at least put it under like Justice League or Men of Steel, but under Tom and Jerry, like, you are literally mixing your whole demographic from kids into a whole 18 people that are trying to watch a Justice League Zack Snyder film of 4 hours. Like, that's like, how do you mess up? Like, how is it that people have one job? Hey, we can't release this for another 2 weeks. This is your job to hold on. This is your job. Don't press the red button until the 18th. Don't press the red button until the guy literally just had a slippery elbow. Like, oh shit, my bad. It's just ridiculous. Like, how bad for you to mess that up? But we're so close to the day of the 18th, and I've seen mixed reviews of people that me and James follow, of people we trust and everything. And some of the people that we trust and everything have mixed reviews. Some people say they like it, some people say that it's kind of the same thing, and some people say it's not for them. But also they say that if you enjoy Just Leave for what it was, and if you want to see Zack Snyder's vision, then you will enjoy this film because this had his whole vision that what was implanted for in the beginning. So I'm just excited for the 18th to come. I'm happy I'm off because I wanted to sit down and watch it. When me and James have dropped a full review that day, separate from the we'll find out and see. But we're excited to talk about it, and it's something that's definitely been promoted so much, so many clips that has been out for so many weeks. It's like, can you just stop dropping clips already? Like, we know it's coming the 18th. Stop promoting it. We know. That's it. Just stop.
They're gonna show the whole movie by this point,
right?
Stop any more clips. No one's gonna want to watch it.
Yeah, I feel like Zack Snyder's released a new clip like every single day, which is fine because I mean I won't watch them because I'm just ready for the movie at this point. Like, I can't wait to see Darkseid. I can't wait to see Superman versus Darkseid. That's gonna be insane. So
and how is Jared Leto? How is Jared Leto included in this dark
Yeah.
Batman scene is what I want to know. Like, he was never there before, so like, so is he part of it now? So I really want to see how is it all part together. I want to see the cyborg stuff. I want to see the Barry stuff. Hey, can this dude run? Can this dude run correctly? That's what I want. But most likely
So
he
the
won't though.
clips, so the clips that I've seen of him running, it looks way better than it does in Whedon's cut.
Oh, thank God.
Like he's someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone said like his form is like a figure skater, and it looks really good in the clips that I've seen so far. So let's hope it's good. But as far as Jared Leto's Joker, like he's just in the nightmare sequence. I mean, he's just there to taunt Batman. So I think that's really cool to see. So I'm really excited for that. He doesn't have all the fucking stupid tattoos, so that's really good. Because that really pissed me off about Suicide Squad. Like, Joker is too manic. There's no way he would even be able to sit still to do one tattoo, much less like several. So I always thought that was fucking stupid.
It was weird, but I'm happy to see all things coming together. I just want the A team to come, and I hope in the God's name there's nobody spoiling this goddamn movie in the timeline or anywhere or any outlet. Because if you do, like, yo, we've been wanting to, sorry, not we, certain people have been wanting this film, and some people got each other. People have, aka James, got me hyped for a film that I never thought I wanted it. So it is now we're here 4 days in advance. So like, can I just get there, just watch this for an hour and probably 5 hours, because I'll probably take bathroom breaks as well.
Yeah, I'm so hyped for this movie. I'm just ready for it to happen. Like,
I am
also this week we have The Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out on March 19th, this Friday. Spicy. How excited are you for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I'm not.
What?
Thank
sorry.
you. I wasn't either.
I'm not. I want to be, but I'm afraid. I saw a clip of them. I saw they posted a clip of like a little scene. It was cringe. I feel like we were watching a CW show, and I was like,
"Oh man!"
It's like old men cringe, like old man jokes. And I'm like, do I want this? And then I saw Bucky was flirting with his what's name's sister. That's okay. Bucky like black girls. All right. I mean, he wasn't Wakanda all this time, so you know that's nice. But other than that, it's like I'm afraid it's just gonna be like you said, like this two old guys running and great action scenes because it's Marvel Disney. But I just hope they don't focus too much on that like old cringe things. Like I don't know. I'm gonna keep an open mind, but we'll have to see.
Oh man, okay. Vash?
So James noticed when we spoke about what we were hyped back in January for this whole year as as comic book releases and everything. Falcon and Winter Soldier was, I think, my number 8 or 9 out of the 10 stuff that was coming out this year. And over some of these sneak peeks and promos and everything we've seen, it's getting me hyped. It's getting me excited for it because I had low expectation. I just watched the film Captain America Winter Soldier with my lady a couple days ago, and seeing Falcon, Sam for the first time, and seeing with Bucky, and then seeing that chemistry that's going to build up later throughout the films, and seeing now that they have their own show, it actually got me a bit more excited. But also seeing that line, I think was in the promo they released Thursday or Friday, saying that it's about the big three. There's a sorcerer and a magician or something else. And to me, that was funny. It worked out. And it's two guys that's literally trying to fight and fix the whole world right now with a world with no heroes. People that have lost Iron Man and other heroes out there, like, Captain America and everything. There's no symbol. So I'm very curious to know how this show will inflict Marvel MCU as a whole and how it will move the low tier heroes. For example, like, they're not gods, they're just regular guys with know how to use combat. That's it. So I'm really curious to know how are we going to be entertained by this, and who is the main villain, and how is it going to connect to the grander scale of the MCU.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for it. And like, now that I think about it, like, WandaVision actually made me more excited because it made me realize that these shows are going to have so much more layers than we thought. So Kevin Feige said in an interview, like, they're gonna talk about the fact that Sam Wilson is essentially stepping into the shoes of Captain America, and how the country will feel about a black Captain America. So that's something that I'm really interested in. Another thing that I'm really interested in is the fact that Bucky is still a terrorist. So how does the world view him even though he's trying to do the right things, right? He saved the world in Endgame. He's trying to put his life back together, but how will the world actually feel about him? So those are the things I'm really interested in. Oh, and Zemo too, right? So I'm really interested in to see, because I don't feel like Zemo had that much to do in Civil War, right? Like
He
he
was
was
not a
the
character.
key. Yeah, he was the key that made a rift between Cap and Iron Man. But what else does he do? And again, much like WandaVision, they're gonna expand on these characters that I think didn't have enough screen
I hope.
time in the MCU movies. So this TV show gives them time to do some cool shit. So that's why I'm really excited for it, because of the success of WandaVision.
I agree, and I feel that's like wonderful, like marketing on Disney and Marvel. Like, the whole grand scheme of things, how they plan everything out, how they get you invested to each one of these shows by the previous one, and then leading up to whichever movie's coming out that year. So it's really, I love it. Like you said, yeah, I am sort of kind of excited for it because of WandaVision, because of like how all these characters kind of are going off into their own parts. Like Homegirl's going off, which I think with Nick Fury, other girl I forgot her name, going out with to Love Is War, and then Quantum, with Ant-Man. So I really like how they did
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of
yeah.
that. So,
Yeah, man. Like Kevin Feige does not. Well, he does miss. Let's be honest. But I mean, the percentages is more in the positive realm. Like I feel like there's like three or four movies in the MCU that I don't give a shit about that I actually think are terrible. But for the most part, they're all really good and how they all interconnect. It's going to be
yeah.
interesting. I have a question like, when does this take place? Like, when does this take place in the timeline? Like, is this like right after Endgame, like a couple months after? Like, do they know about what happened to Wanda? Like, those are some questions that I have.
So from what I know, from what I did research, is that technically Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposed to come out first before WandaVision, but because of the pandemic and everything, they switched the shows, and they happen around the same time. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier happens after Endgame and happens within a month, like a month after. I don't know if they fix the correlation that WandaVision happened first. I don't know if that's gonna be canon or anything like that. So I don't know if they fixed that before they are gonna release it. I don't know if they had time to reshoot some timeline stuff to fix. I don't know, but from what I know, this is a month after or a couple weeks after, just like WandaVision was.
Yeah, I hope so. I think that would be interesting to just pick up with them after losing Cap essentially. And I hope like Chris Evans still like shows up for like a couple minutes, cuz it's not like he's dead or anything, like he's still around. I feel like it would be weird if he just never showed up. You know what I mean? Like at this point Peggy's dead. So what is he doing? Like I feel like one of them or both of them should go to him for like advice. Like I just need like one scene of like old Cap. I think that would be dope. Like, would you guys like to see like Chris Evans just come up for like one quick cameo?
Maybe one, because like I said, I know Bucky. That's like Bucky's only like friend in this whole new universe type thing who understands him. So it would make sense for him to go like for him for like one last time, kind of like how Cap did with Peggy back in like the other movie. So I would like to see that, but not too much, just one time, and then let's let's cut it out. Like
And
Yeah,
plus, I'm
no,
curious to know. Plus, I'm curious to know how we're gonna see Agent 13 as well, because I'm sure she's there as well. So I'm curious to know how she's gonna be involved with this. If is she gonna be the leader, the one to send them out into mission? Is she the one that going like, okay, guys, this is your mission. Go over there, go fly out and everything. So I'm curious
yeah.
to know what's her role as well.
I don't want her to be a love interest. I just want her to be separate and just be her own. I don't want them to do that because I,
yeah,
I liked her.
I think it would be weird if she just like, oh well, I can't get Steve anymore, so I guess I'll go for one of his other best friends. I feel like that would be really cheap.
But but
Yeah.
but then it'll be weird because technically Steve became her dad, so it's just weird as well because we don't really know how that timeline work as well.
Yeah, I don't think they're even gonna touch on that in the MCU.
Hopefully they don't.
Yeah, but I am interested to see what her storyline is gonna be, because I mean she went against the Accords, she went against the country to help Cap and Bucky. So what does that mean for her? Like,
Hmm.
where is she working? Like, was she able to get a job at Sword? Probably not. So I want to see like what she's been up to this entire time. You know what I mean? Like she put everything on the line, and I mean, Cap didn't even say goodbye. He just like left.
Went back to segregation and just chilled out. Don't understand.
Yeah, so I have like so many questions, and they're all gonna be answered this week. So I'm super excited. So earlier this week, well, last week, Matt Reeves put up on his Twitter that the Batman has officially wrapped pre-production. So I am really, really excited for this. Spicy, talk to me. Talk to me.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little excited about this Batman. Am I tired of seeing Bruce Wayne's mom and dad? You know, the continuation of the story being retold every time. Yes, but I saw that fight scene. I was like, okay, like and it seems like it's like in like the 30s, like or like early. Like it doesn't seem like it's a current Gotham. It seems like it's like a previous, like a hit previous Gotham. I'm not sure. I'm probably
I
just
think it's like
but
90s or something like that.
90.
If I'm correct,
I
if I'm
think
correct, is
so.
year one of his Batman year, so it should be
Yeah,
in
like
the
year
early two
one, year
thousands.
two. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So I like it. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm excited to see it. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I heard. Oh, like the other timeline, everyone was talking like crap about Batman yesterday on Twitter. Like they're like, "Oh, Batman's weak." I'm like, no, like I like Bruce Wayne. Like put some respect on Bruce Wayne's name. Like I like him. Like he really be causing havoc for these lower tier villains. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, I'm not trying to get let down, so I'm just trying to
I feel you.
stay open minded and observant.
Yeah, like I think Matt Reeves is a great director, and I think Robert Pattinson was the best choice for this Batman, honestly. Like this dude is such a great actor. Like we've talked about this before, but the people that just judge him on Twilight, like get over it, dude. That was so long ago. He's done so many amazing performances since then. Get
Oh,
over it. The dude's going to be a great Batman.
what was that one movie he did? Like the war one. I forgot, but he played like a villain. Like I think he's British or French, and he was really good in that movie. Oh, The King. What's The
The King,
King?
yeah, yeah.
Yes, he did a really good job in that one. So I was like, all right, cool. Like that was a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, the dude can act. Like, wait, just give him a chance. You will see. We're finally going to get the detective, the true detective Batman that we've been missing all these years, because we've been getting glimpses of it with different like people who play Batman, but not like this. I trust Matt Reeves. It's gonna be like the long Halloween. We're gonna get all of these different villains, and Batman actually has to do detective work to save the day and not just do a bunch of punching. So I'm really, really excited for it. Vash.
I'm excited for it, but more because of what you just said, the detective Batman. I've just been rewatching Justice League, the cartoon, and it's so nice to see Batman as a detective. Like when the whole team wants to go fight and everything, he said, "All right, I'm gonna go stay here. I'm gonna go do some science and everything." And we don't see that side of Bruce. Like my dude has so many degrees of of biotype engineering. He knows how to build technology and everything. My dude's a smart man. He's not just rich. He's also smart as hell. And we don't see that in the movies. We just see him having tech, fight bad guys, and that's it. So I'm like, guys, he does more than that. He's also an intelligent dude. So I'm really excited to see that side of him as a detective and him actually building tech of his own, not just going to a dude in his own company and say, hey, can you build this for me?
Or getting Alfred's help, like behind comms. It's like no, Batman. Like Alfred helps, but this man knows everything. Like I was watching was it Gotham by Gaslight, which is like like a whodunit mystery type of movie, and I
Oh
loved
yeah.
it because I didn't even know who the person was until they revealed it. And I'm pretty good at catching that on. So I agree. I love that, like that detective of Batman, and that mystery of like who was it, like which clues this and that. Like so I 100% agree.
Yeah, like I can't wait. Like the Batman is going to be awesome. It's supposed to be a trilogy. Matt Reeves has already mapped it all out, so I'm very excited. Paul Dano is going to be the Riddler. So we're finally going to get the genius level intellect of the Riddler against Batman. That's going to be dope. Colin Farrell is going to be a different version of the Penguin. That's going to be dope. We're actually going to get Mob Boss Penguin, not
A
Danny DeVito Penguin. None of that bullshit. Like Mob Boss Penguin. So that's gonna be absolutely dope. So I'm really excited for the Batman. Mercenary, we will be doing a stream for the Snyder Cut. We're gonna do a non-spoiler, like mild spoiler-ish review on Friday. And then on my birthday, April 2nd, we're actually gonna have the entire crew from the Popaholics podcast come on the show so that we can do a full deep dive spoilers discussion on the Snyder Cut. So that's gonna be dope. Hope to see you there for that one. Next piece of news: Avatar was re-released in China and is now the #1 movie in the world yet again. This is ridiculous on James Cameron's part. Go ahead, Vash.
Who gives a shit? I'm sorry, but I never care about Avatar. I never, still until this day, have not watched it. I probably watched 5 minutes of it, and just since then, since 2009, since it's been out, I never took the time, never took the effort to watch it. And at the same time, it made more money, but guess what? Disney still owns it now. Disney owns Fox. So James Cameron put it out in China. And yes, Avengers got debunked, but at the same time, it's still owned by the fucking mouse. So at the end of the day, it still goes back to the same parent company. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, but you know what? Avengers could re-release it next month in May, because in May is when they make their anniversary, or aka in April 26th, when they have Endgame and Infinity War. So technically, they could re-release it, and then again be on top. So it don't matter.
So they won't re-release it until Avatar 2 comes out, because that's the only reason why James Cameron did this. He did a re-release just so that during the marketing, he can say the sequel to the biggest movie in the world. That's all he cares about. So as soon as that happens, as soon as Avatar 2 comes out, Endgame will be re-released, like you said, and it'll be the #1 movie again. But Spicy, what do you think about this? Do you care about the Avatar movie?
I just want to say Zoe Saldana is the only one who's winning in all of this because she's in both like movies. So yes. I just want to say that. But
Queen.
I love her. But to be honest, like yeah, I'm with Vash. I watched the movie once. It was great, but it's never been like a let me rewatch it again, or it's just it was a cool movie and the concept was dope and everything. But to be honest, a 2 I don't know if we needed a 2 really, but that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested in it. So that's my thoughts. Like it was cool for when it came out. That's it.
And Merc, it comes out in I think December 2022, right, James?
Something like that. Yeah, I would have to look it up. I'm not sure because the release dates have shifted
so many times, right?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for the sequels, right? Like I also think the first movie is just fine. Realistically, it's just Dances with Wolves with blue people. It's just Pocahontas with blue people. Like there's nothing
pretty
interesting.
CGI images, and that's it. Like
yeah.
So
what I'm interested in for the sequels is I want to learn more about the different tribes on Pandora. There are underwater civilizations. I want to explore that, right? The whole point of the movie was humans trying to get the natural resources of the planet. They're not going to give up. There's way too much money in mining this planet. So they will come back with more military forces. So that's why I think it definitely deserves a sequel. And now that they have the base, they've already done all the pilot bullshit. Now they can actually get into the good stuff. So I'm actually really excited for the sequels, even though the first film is just all right.
So Avatar 2 release date currently is December 16, 2022. And Avatar 3, December 20, 2024.
Okay, I thought they were doing it 1 year after. Oh yeah. There's 2, 3, 4, and there should be a fifth one too. Actually,
it doesn't have 4 and 5. Oh, sorry. Avatar 4 is December 25. So that's the one a year later. So Avatar 2 and 3. Okay. So Avatar 2 and 3 has 2 years apart, but 3 and 4 has a year apart. They do not have Avatar 5 here ranking on the release date. But yeah, wow, they have Avatar 4. Huh, damn.
They're ready for that. That much? Nope. To be 5 films. I'm just saying, like, what, like, it's gonna be like, are they gonna have kids? Are they gonna get like? I kind of see it already transpiring in my head. Like, do we want that same trope?
I'd rather have James Cameron work on Terminator. Go back to that, my guy. Why you working Avatar? Go to Terminator. That's better. Go help them out. They need the help. So you producing my ass. Go help them. Actually help them do a script.
Exactly, right? Producing. It's like, yo, dude, we're pretty much, we know the industry knowledge, bro. A producer credit doesn't fucking really mean anything. It doesn't have to mean
I know this from experience just now from this past week. So I was all gonna say, you having a producing title, you don't do shit.
You just send the money.
Yeah, having a producer title sells movies. Just like some of those terrible horror movies. It's like, produced by James Wan. He had nothing to do with it. This is a garbage bullshit movie. And they gave him a producer credit so that they can use his name to sell the movie.
It's all, everything's marketing, man. Everything is marketing. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I wish he would go back to Terminator. Like, I want him to do a Terminator TV series. I don't want to see any more movies because you can't do enough with this world in 90 minutes. It's been proven. Genesis is garbage. The third one is just okay. Dark Fate is bullshit. Like, you just can't do it in 90 minutes. It has to be a TV series. So that's what I'm looking forward to. All right, last piece of news. Michael B. Jordan is officially directing and starring in Creed 3. This marks his directorial debut in Creed 3. So I'm very, very proud of him. I'm excited for him. But directing and starring is really tough to do at the exact same time. So, Spicy, what do you think?
There's a show on Netflix that he also stars and produces. It's the Leon. What's it called? It's
I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't know.
It's about this little boy who gets powers, and Michael B. Jordan is his dad, and it's off. It was a pilot that someone else made, like a short film someone made, and Michael B. Jordan picked it up and produced it. And everyone kind of had issues because like they kind of changed the mom from a dark skinned woman to light skinned woman. But anyway, that show kind of got like meh reviews on it, and I did watch it with my sister, and it was okay. So he's been having a lot of practice with producing stuff. So hopefully with this Creed one, he can kind of because I keep drawing a blank from Black Panther. Didn't he produce? Didn't he direct this the second Creed one?
Ryan Coogler directed the first one.
So
the second one was someone else.
So
was the second one what's this the guy that did the Rocky films, can't remember his name. Was he the one that directed it?
No, he was new. Stephen Caple Jr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he hasn't done that many films, but producing is one thing, right? Because as a producer, you're getting all the talent together, and that's something that he does really well. But to direct, train, and star in the movie, it's going to be a lot. I believe in him. The chat just put it in. Scuba just put it in. Raising Dion.
Yeah, Raising Dion. Yeah. So
I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's the new season's coming out. I think this year. So it was very slow, but now it's picking up. So I'm just from looking at that, which is a TV show and like a feature movie. I'm just interested to see this challenge given to him, and I'm definitely excited about like he's picking up the director's chair because that's more Black directors out. But like you said, it's tough to star in it and direct it. Like that's a really big role to fill. So I'm just excited to see his take on that.
Yeah, I definitely think he can do it. It's just gonna be really hard on him. Vash, what are your thoughts on it?
I was gonna say something, but I searched IMDb first to see if it's public yet, and I can't say yet since I know information that's not public yet. So all I could and would say is that I believe in Michael B. Jordan. That's it.
Just say it.
Okay.
Just say it's okay.
I could say after we're live to you guys.
We won't tell you.
Yeah, I don't want to get him in trouble. Yeah, man, but I'm really excited for Creed 3. I actually thought Creed 2 was just a little bit better than the first Creed, which I was surprised by because Ryan Coogler is such a great director.
Yeah.
But I think it's because Michael B. Jordan knows more about that character, and his chemistry with Tessa Thompson is just amazing. Like, they play off of each other so well. They feel like a real couple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something that you don't see a lot in movies. Like, they actually feel like a real couple. So that's something they got together. That's something that Stephen Caple Jr. got really well in the film. The rivalry between Adonis Creed and Victor Drago, that was amazing, man. Like watching him get beat in the beginning and then watching him have to train and rise to get back to that championship spot, like so
I still haven't seen Creed 2, by the way.
bro, you playing, bro.
I love Felicia Rashad as his stepmom, or not even. You know, she's
Well, yeah.
beautiful. She's a beautiful actress, and she really has that motherhood on lock. So I really did like their relationship too, because she didn't have to do that, but like especially knowing who his father was. So yeah, I'm excited for Creed 3. I think I watched the second one. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to go back, but I'm pretty sure I think I did. So my dad's a Rocky fan too, so
Yeah, it's so good because I was worried about the Creed movies because I'm like, I love the Rocky movies. Do we really need this like sequel, like trilogy or whatever it's gonna be to this? And I like Creed and Creed 2 more than a few of the Rocky movies, if I'm being honest. Like these movies are so well done, they're so inspiring, especially with Sylvester Stallone. Like he's
Yeah.
so good in those movies as the mentor role. So I can't wait, man. It's really gonna be good. Sylvester Stallone got nominated for his performance in Creed 2. Didn't win, but he definitely deserved the nomination because he was really good in that movie. But let's move into main topic number 1. We're gonna be talking about Superman and Lois, episodes 2 and 3. I have so much to say about this show, right? I like the show and I like where it's going. I feel like the show has a lot of potential, and the only thing stopping the show from being great is the network that it's on. And we'll get into that a lot more. But Vash, what were your overall thoughts of Superman and Lois episode 2?
So I think what texted James was last week. I said that episode 1, 3, and 2. That's the way I rank them right now. Or 3, 1, and 2. It depends on how I feel. But 2 is definitely the weakest. It felt very soap opera with the kids and expressing the emotion, screaming the emotion to the dad and everything. And like I get it, he lied to you that he's Superman. I get it for all these past 16 years. I get it. But my dude, you have to understand he's fucking Superman. Like he's literally Man of Steel. Like
they're
literally.
so mad.
Yeah, they're still mad by episode 3. Like by episode 3, they're having a understanding, but episode 2 is where they were like very bitchy, and that's what we're right on the topic of episode 2 itself, because like my dude just threw a whole tantrum, and the whole CW. What bothers me is that them explaining that the reason he has anxiety, the reason he has depression and all this because he's an alien half-breed, and the reason he has all these powers is that he couldn't control is because of his emotions and everything. So I'm like, yeah, really trying to explain just because he's half human, half Kryptonian, that's the reason he has depression, anxiety? No, yeah, idiots. All humans and all type of species could have that. You do not need to give him an explanation because he's half Kryptonian. That's what really bothered me. Like, this was really poor writing in that department. Like, I get it what you're trying to go for. I get it, like, in that aspect. But the execution was very poor in that. So, that's my thoughts on episode 2 itself. Spicy, have you seen episode 2?
No, but I called it episode 1. I was like, yeah, that's the kid with the powers, because when your parents don't tell you about anything, of course you're gonna think something's wrong with you. So they're like, oh, yeah, anxiety, depression. No, he has powers and he doesn't know what's going on because no one's telling him anything. So I called it episode 1, but at the end of episode 1, I forgot that I thought they were like, oh, Dad, teach us your ways. Oh, tell us more information. And y'all still mad? I hate that about the CW. Why do they keep doing this shit with teenagers?
So Spicy. So here's where it gets worse. And James is nodding his head because he's probably about to do a rant of you. So in episode 2, he takes them all the way to the Fortress of Solitude. Right. In the first 20 minutes, the father says, "Hey, let's do this test and everything." Right. Hey, you have some powers and everything. You're growing. Right. In the second half of episode 2, the grandfather tells him, "Yo, so he doesn't have powers. He's just a nobody." And his son was eavesdropping, and then got emotional, threw a tantrum, and then they took him back home, and then he
Wait.
threw another tantrum in front of the mom and in front of his brother, saying, "I'm just a nobody. I technically don't have powers because Grandpa told me I don't have powers." So, and they're like, "No, no, he said that you're not like your father." The words were very chosen, but just because he's a teenage boy, he's letting his emotions spark up.
Throw it away. I don't want it. No,
James,
that's annoying. That's annoying. They do this all the time with this shit. They make it seem like teenagers can't grow. They can't. They always keep unlearning the things they're learning. Like as if like no. Like have you like that's not true. They learn. I okay. I'm sorry. I'm be quiet now.
No,
'Cause
you're
I
good.
I
You're
didn't
good.
watch the 2 episodes. So, but as I called
no,
it,
but
bro. Like,
James gonna explain, but episode 3 saves episode 2 for me because episode 2 was the weakest. Episode 3 definitely saves it because we get that Clark's Superman of Smallville, which will bother me in episode 3 because my dude played baseball, but I get it because it's from the comics. But if y'all gonna compare this show to Smallville, you should have just stick to the same type of football reference. Your son is playing football, stick to the same sport. Why switch sport? That just threw me off. But James, go ahead.
Spicy, you hit the nail on the head, right? It's them unlearning things that they've already learned, right? So we've talked about this before. It's the CW formula. They bitch at the beginning, they learn something in the middle, and then like they're good at the end and rinse repeat every single fucking episode. And I was on Twitter while I was watching episode 2. I'm like, why are they still doing this? This is ridiculous. It's so stupid. Like, why are you still like so annoyed that they want you to keep your powers on the low? Do you not understand the implications of this? Like, there's literally a line at the beginning where Jordan's like, I don't even know how I got to use my powers. And Clark's like, well, yeah, that's why we need to train you. That's why I don't feel comfortable with you going to school just yet, because you don't know how your powers are triggered. You could kill someone at school.
like the party. And they're being
Exactly.
like
And what bothered me throughout these past 3 episodes that Clark never said powers are triggered through emotions, and they're like that's something that should have been said. And it was finally said in episode 3, and almost at the end. I'm like, wait, so it took you 3 episodes to explain that it's because of your emotions is why your powers uprage and everything, and like. Teenage boy, teenage girls are in the highest peak of emotions of having no understanding of controlling of their emotions.
and that's why I'm glad that Ava DuVernay is coming on the CW and working on Naomi so that they don't have to F up her character, the only black woman character. She's like, y'all not about to do, I see what y'all doing with these teenagers. Y'all not about to do with these black queens. So let me get up on her on my production crew and show you how to write a black girl because it's getting ridiculous. It's getting really ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not good. Like, I don't know, like, well, I do know, right? Because these choices are to add drama to the show for absolutely no reason, and that's what pisses me off the most. Like, these shows have so much potential, but they have so much forced drama, so much forced relationship drama, just to push the episodes for no reason, dude. Like, it's ridiculous. But I don't want to talk about too many negatives, right? One thing
Yeah.
this show does really well is characterization. All of the characters on the show, within 3 episodes, I like them all, right? There's something interesting about each individual character. Like, I love the Lex Luthor that we're getting in this world right now. So it actually is a black dude.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. Because Sam
I
said he goes
actually-
white. I'm like, huh? No, he black.
I think he's really cool. So, mild spoiler for the episode. So this dude is from, well, it's not a spoiler, but we know that he's from another Earth, and then post-crisis he ended up here. So what we learned in episode 2 and 3, on his Earth, Superman was evil, right? So my theory is his Earth is where Lois Lane died, and then Superman went batshit crazy, kind of like Injustice.
I was about to say injustice. Yeah.
And that's the Superman that he knows, right? So he has a conversation with his like AI computer in his ship, and he's like, and the AI is like, this Superman doesn't look like, he's not acting like anything like our Superman. And Luthor is like, yeah, not yet. So that's what led me to believe that what happened to that other Superman is that his Lois was killed, or he was tricked into killing her like Injustice. So there's small things like that that's really cool. Luthor is also looking for more kryptonite. We find out that Lois's father, the general, he has all the kryptonite that's left on the planet.
Which makes
So,
sense.
and he,
Yeah, that's
which makes sense, right? He wants to keep it away from everyone else, and he also wants to keep it just in case
yeah.
something happens. So there's really cool elements, and I love where things are going with Lois's character.
Thank you. Yes.
She's no longer with the Daily Planet because she's not the type of reporter to just sit there and take shit. And I love that she has her own story going on. Like, she's following her own story. It's completely separate from Superman. She's doing her own thing. And I love this Lois Lane. Like, she's so powerful. She exudes power. Like, you can tell that she's a Lois Lane that will get the story done. And she's also super supportive to her husband, which is what a partner should be. So I love the actress playing her. I think she's amazing. But yeah, man, the episode 2 was okay. 3 is actually my favorite, so I would go 3, 1, 2.
Same. And what I was gonna add to what James was saying is that in episode 3, Lois, I feel like, is the best in that role because we get her character of how she's shows in the comics and how she's shown in the movies that she drives for the news. And the line that her coworker now said that you're right, the news, you don't look for the news, the news comes to you. And like that's always been the comics and everything. And this interesting plot line with Morgan Edge, that was his character, right? So
Yeah.
it's an interesting plot line. And what took a twist for me is when the evil organization killed the other guy. So I'm like, wait. So who's the bad guy here? Is this the whole organization, or like is this? I hope it is not Star Labs. I hope it's the lab, the one that works with Luthor and is the one that makes Superboy.
LuxCorp.
Cadmus. Cadmus, right? Hopefully
Yeah.
this. Hopefully it's organization that will connect with Cadmus and will connect with maybe Captain Luthor and everything. Because this will be pretty interesting if it comes to full circle with Morgan Edge, since it's all about profit and everything, and Cadmus is about profit and everything. And these type of villains or characters that they are right now so far, almost as strong as Clark. So this would be interesting that if we get robot Superman, I forget his name right now, top of my head.
Why am I blanking on his name?
Yeah, I'm blanking his name.
In his chest.
Yeah, him.
I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now, but
It's a skeleton too.
Yeah, he was just a normal guy, and something happened to him, and he had his entire body replaced as an android, and he has like a giant rock of kryptonite in his chest. I don't know why I'm blanking on this. I have failed as a comic book fan right now.
I'd be the same way. I'd be like, I can't say Ryan Coogler's name. I was like, you're
But since Vash is looking this up, like another thing about Captain Luthor, like just to expound on that, like this is
It's Metallo.
Metallo.
Thank you. I was like, in my head it was bothering me like Metallo. So this might be a way to lead to Metallo. That's what I was trying to lead into. So this will be a way to lead to Metallo for another villain throughout the season as Captain Luthor and Metallo throughout the show. And this will be also a way to connect with the type of kryptonite of Lois' father.
Yeah, but on the topic of Captain Luthor, like I like that his hatred for Superman actually comes from something real. Superman destroyed their world, right? He subjugated them, he murdered them. So there is a reason why he would have this huge amount of hatred for Superman instead of just him being feared, like instead of him just not liking Superman because he's godlike, right? Like Lex sees himself as the smartest man on the planet, but everyone worships this god that just came from another planet, right? This alien. So I do like that there's this extra layer to this Lex Luthor that wants to kill Superman because he actually thinks that he's saving this Earth from the destruction that he faced. So that's something that I think is really, really interesting. Again, like the only bad parts is just what the CW does with the kids. Like when they're at high school, the stupid football players are always messing with Jordan because Jordan likes the dude's girlfriend, and just like, I don't care, bro.
But
she
to add,
was
James,
down.
I do like the girl though. The girl in episode 3
Gets
was
better.
amazing.
Gets better.
Oh
I hope
no,
so, 'cause-
no! In episode 3, she really became a layer character because of what she preached of screaming to her mom and everything, but knowing about talking about depression, but talking about real life high school problems that any kid could go through, any kid could relate to, and it was beautiful the way that actress spoke with the actress with Lana, it was very impactful because that's something that's real life that any mom or daughter could have a fight about, and that was very real. And it made it so impactful to learn about these characters and maybe connect more with Jordan and everything, because it's obvious those two are gonna hook up in the next 3 or 4 episodes.
It's because like episode 1, like you said, she had me with the whole depression and talking about what teenagers go through. I was like, yes, girl, yes. And then y'all were having that intimate conversation, and then he kissed you, and it's like, oh wait, I have a boyfriend. Like that's CW adding it. Oh, now we got adding the drama. It's like, so they just had an adult conversation about her popping pills and her parents, being a cause for her younger sister's brain. That's all of that, and then you can't have it to where she can't verbally say I have a boyfriend. Like I just like why you took that intimate moment away and just made it disappear and made it fake by adding that drama into it just so he can reveal his powers. I'm like, there are other ways around that.
Exactly. I feel like that was so cheap just to make him angry to use his powers. Like, I just feel like there's other ways to do this. But again, it's a CW. Let's go with the most dramatic thing possible, and I hate it. But episode 3 gets way better. All of the characters get so much characterization. Lois is now working for the Smallville Gazette. It's run by this one lady, and she's actually trusting Lois to follow the stories that she wants to follow. And they actually come across a conspiracy where this lady's son that worked for Morgan Edge went missing, or he died. But there's no evidence, but I mean, this lady got a voicemail from her son pretty much telling her that he's into some weird shit. He's not really sure what he's getting himself into. And that was the last time she ever spoke to him. So Lois is working this case. So that's what I meant, where she's working her own thing that has nothing to do with Clark. And Clark is also very supportive of that. Whenever she even thought about giving up, she's like, no, you're Lois Lane. Like, work the problem. Like, what does your gut tell you? Does your gut tell you that this is a problem? There's more to it? Then follow your instincts. And that's one thing that I really like about this show. They're a strong couple.
Yes.
They're a really strong couple that supports each other. And yes, they have disputes, but they have disputes like adults. That's the one thing that the CW doesn't ruin. They actually have grown-up conversations, and it works.
They have the strong suits with adult conversations because it's adults writing it, but you can see the flaws of when they write for kids problems or kids drama. That's where the flaws and the problems shows, because they don't know how to write kids problems because they're not kids no more. But it's like they need to understand that if you're gonna post a show to a network of CW that you're shooting for this type of demographic, they need to write better for this type of demographic for them to have an understanding, not just whine and bitch and scream to the camera and just say, you're horrible dad, I hate you, and then 20 minutes later, hey dad, I love you, I'm sorry for what happened, and I'm sorry for what I said to you. Like, it's like, kids, let's just go play catch. Wait, what?
I wish you would go back to never being around.
Oh my Jesus! First of all, Black Lightning, they have these problems. Black Lightning, because my dog talked to his daughters like adults. They had real conversations. They disagreed. They left. They came back, and they're like, "Look, it is what it is." Like, I just, that's so lazy. And now your whole demographic is essentially going to be teenagers. You made it that way. You canceled 3 shows, 2 that weren't, one that wasn't even made that production yet, and now your whole demographic is nothing but teenagers. So if you can't even do that, then change the storyline, change the whole universe. Like, I just don't understand.
And a quick shout out to Black Lightning as well. I saw in the chat. I'm behind Black Lightning, so I can't really bring up Venti.
Yeah, me too.
But I saw a clip from Black Lightning most recent episode. I think it was a premiere last week, and Albert Jefferson literally throughout the episode he mentioned he needs something from Star Labs. He said, I know somebody of who could bring it in a flash. It pans out of him walking away, and then pans back that he brings the whole item that he needed. So they mentioned Star Labs, they mentioned the Flash, but Grant Gustin never appeared because obviously, the pandemic and everything. But I'm like, it's nice that they mentioned that they're in the same universe, same Earth now. But like,
yeah,
it would have been nice just to at least show the lightning, or at least said character, at least the red suit. You don't need to have Grant, show up. At least just, spend a good $1,000 just for the nice little graphic, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did that on Arrow. Like, you're just like, yeah, we need Barry to bring us something, and then we just see the Flash run back and forth, and then that was it.
Or
Yeah.
they're like, oh, Cisco's coming instead, and it's like, why? Why? But yeah.
But yeah, another thing that I wanted to talk about was there was an assassin that tried to kill Lois Lane in episode 3, right?
Oh yeah.
And this assassin has the exact same like strength as Superman. So I don't know if it was an android or if it was like another Kryptonian or something. Like I'm not sure what he was, but I thought that fight was really cool, and I also had issues with it because again, right? It's the suit. I continue to have issues with the suit. So Superman throws a punch and the guy is holding his two fists like this, right?
Mhm.
And because his biceps are being pushed in, you can see the suit bulging out. And he looks ridiculous. You can tell. You can
So
see the muscle pads. It looks ridiculous,
so
dude.
James,
Oh my
so
god.
that bothered you, right? What bothered me is beautiful type of cinematography, beautiful slow motion editing shots, beautiful, right? But what bothered me is that why the fuck was Clark getting almost beat up by human with extra powers with super strength and everything? Why was he look like on the show that he looked like he was losing? Superman not supposed to look like he's losing. I get it that his wife is right there, so you know he has to pay attention to her and everything. I get that, but once she screamed like Superman help and everything, is when he got the extra power of strength coming out of nowhere, and then he like, all right, time to play serious. I'm like, my dude, you should have played serious from the beginning. Your wife was in trouble
Yeah,
already.
but
You should have not waited. Like I get it, it's a W. You gotta build the extra 10 minutes or 5 minutes of the show by the end. I
I
get it.
mean, not even that. Like, it's Superman, right? Like, he has to look like he's in danger at some point. He can't just be. It's not an anime. He can't be OP the whole time and just beat everyone. Like, I give it the pass for that. I'll give it the pass for that.
Yeah, but like it looks so good, slow motion shots and everything. But like for him to look like he was getting beat up by regular, like I understand if it was Brainiac or Doomsday or maybe like some dude called Metallo who has a kryptonite inside him. I get it. But was a dude that has super strength, like unless we know that these type of people have Krypton genes inside them, then I will understand. But from so far from what we see on screen, regular humans with just super strength, that's it. I'm like, okay, cool. Clark, you're supposed to be whooping them ass.
Yeah, I have no idea what that dude is. I'm very well. I mean, spoilers, spicy, but he's dead. The dude he fights is dead,
Oh,
and who I assume is another Kryptonian shows up at the very end of the episode to kill him. So that's something that was very interesting to me. It's like, okay, cool. Not only are we gonna get this other version of Lex, we're also going to get another Kryptonian that's going to be an antagonist
hmm.
for Superman. And thank you, Mercenary, for putting that in chat. But her name is Lesla Lar. So that's gonna be interesting to watch Superman go up against another Kryptonian when he thought they were all dead, essentially. Another thing that I think this show does really well that they excelled in episode 3 is proving that even though Superman has all of these powers, he's still flawed, right? Like he doesn't make all the best decisions as a father. He doesn't always make the best decisions as a husband or just as a person. So I do like that they give him like some extra characterization. So yeah, Mercenary, I didn't even know that because I don't watch Supergirl. I gave up after episode 8 in season 1. I
Oh
don't
wow.
watch the show. I
Yeah,
don't
Me,
same.
watch it. So
I gave up on
I did not know that.
season 2 or 3, and I feel bad, but I'll probably watch it one day. But right now, I saw leaks of Martian Manhunter. Wish that he was on this show instead, because Martian Manhunter is such a good character.
Oh my
And
god,
wish
yes.
and and I wish he belonged with Clark instead of Supergirl. But hey, you know we're not the ones that's producing it or writing it, so we cannot do that.
Martian Manhunter Magan, I was like, yes. Like when I introduced him to Supergirl, I was like, yeah. And then then Magan was like, I'm going away. I'm like, you just came here. You just came here, had a
Right?
self realization,
It's just 3
and now you're
episodes.
gone. So I was like, enough. And then they had it like she had her own little team. Like I was like, okay. Like I think of season 2, I was like, enough. It's enough. It was too much.
yeah, I mean, by episode 8, she already had 3 different love interests. I was like, I'm out, bro.
Oh
Like
my
this doesn't
gosh.
make any sense. It was the tech guy. I don't remember his name,
The
the black
short.
dude that's Guardian, yeah. And then her husband at the time, that abusive piece of shit,
Oh yeah,
he
super.
was on the show and he played a love interest for a couple episodes.
Hmm.
I was like, I'm so done. Like, this is supposed to be a Supergirl show. It's supposed to be empowering, and I don't feel it. Like, I've heard people say, like, well, maybe the show isn't for you. It's made for women. It's like, yes, but I should still be able to appreciate the themes and the story of the show. Like, I don't feel that way about Batwoman when all
Hmm.
of the female characters are on Arrow. I don't feel that way. I don't
Exact.
feel that way about
Oh
Caitlyn or
yeah.
Iris. I don't feel that way. So what is Supergirl's problem? The show is just written poorly.
Because
That's the
Kara is
problem.
Kara when she's with the crossover events is amazing. She's so cute. I love seeing her with the other heroes and Barry specifically. But it's just with her own group where I'm like, it's just always strife. She's always having to just be like in everyone's business because they're always putting her in it. I was like, this is like, it's just too much. Like I don't know.
And I do want to add, girl looks amazing in her new suit. That new suit that she has right now looks amazing. I think it's from New 52 Comics that they did, and it looks beautiful. And girl's already beautiful, and girl has a beautiful
Oh
smile.
yeah.
So for her to be in that suit looks amazing. So I'm happy that they switched from the OG outfit of the skirt and everything into the New 52 outfit
Yes.
because it looks amazing.
Yeah, her suit looks great. I think Melissa Benoist is an amazing Kara.
She is.
She
She's
is.
so
She
good.
is.
And I love to see her in the crossovers. Like, again, like the way she's written, she's this character with all of these amazing abilities, but she's still super vulnerable, right?
Hmm.
Like, she blames herself for so many different things because she's realizing constantly that she can't save everyone. She can't do everything, even with all of her strength and her speed. You know what I mean? So I like the way she's written, but just everything else around her. And because of the CW budget, I hate the way that Martian Manhunter shows up on screen. It's like he transforms, he punches someone, and then he transforms back into his human form. It's like, no, that's dumb. His true form is the alien form, and then he switches to human form to blend in when he's walking the streets. But yes, like he just said, the money.
Because
So
The
I
Vixen,
can't,
budget.
that went to Vixen and
I can't,
Firestorm.
yeah, I can't wait for these shows to be like Disney Plus, get on HBO Max, put the budget. Like WandaVision was like 225 million, bro. Put that money into these CW shows and you will see the returns. Because another thing that really turned me off about Supergirl is the visual effects. Like, it looks really bad. Sometimes the wire work is really bad, the CGI is really bad, and it's just hard to enjoy like watching it sometimes. But man, I'm really enjoying Superman and Lois. I want to see where it goes from here. Again, like I said, the Luthor character is really, really interesting and compelling. We also learned that he was actually a soldier with Lois's father in the alternate
Oh
reality.
yeah,
So
that's pretty
that was
interesting.
really, really cool. The way that they fought side by side, and Luthor is trying to recruit him to stop Superman at this point. So there's a lot of different themes on this show that can make it work really well. And I just hope that they continue to do a good job. I really, really do. I think 5 seasons of this is enough.
Hmm.
Just get to 5 seasons, then just end it. Some shows go on too long. Flash, I'm sorry, I love the Flash, but at this point, just fucking end it.
Yeah.
Just fucking end it. And on that note, let's get into our Flash season
Transition,
7,
guys.
episode 1, episode 2 review. But before we dive into that, Vash and I actually already did a full season 6 spoilers discussion that's on the channel right now. You guys can watch that after this video. And Spicy, I want to know, because I know you were binge watching all of the seasons to be on the show today, and I really, really appreciate you for that. So let the fans know, like, what did you like about the seasons that you binged, and what were your first impressions of season 7, episode 1?
So what I liked about season 4, because thank God I stopped around the middle of season 4 because I was just like I was so burnt out of all the. As this is when like Vixen and Firestorm and Wally left like Legends. I was done. So coming back with fresh eyes, season 4 was very enjoyable. I did like its conclusion. It touched on the feels, and that's why I like the Flash because 1 through 3 had a lot of feely moments. It was believable. It was real. You felt it. he felt the stakes. So season 4, I felt it was a nice conclusion, and I think Cisco even said he was like, "That's it's the end of an era," and I felt like that was beautiful. 5, season 5 was boring. It felt light. I didn't feel that weightness of that I felt in the previous seasons. It felt just light and fake. And Nora seemed very like just airy. She didn't have any weight to me. I didn't really care, and I didn't feel like there was any like chemistry. And I felt like, again, a 25-year-old acting like she's 13, mad at her parents who haven't really had her yet, and just causing chaos. That's my thing. Like, Barry messed up the timeline stuff because he was hurting. He was trying to fix stuff. He wants to fix everything. Nora was like purposely trying to destroy shit, and that pissed me off because she had no reason for doing it. I know the reason for doing it, but it wasn't believable. It wasn't believable to me. Like when she told Barry, "Oh, stop it, I need my father." Barry was like, "I'm sorry, but you have to get over it. You speedster too. Like, you're here for what? Because you ran back in time. You know the job, girl." So for her to be like, to always cause strife in a group, I felt she didn't belong. I just felt like she just did not mix well with the cast. And again, I feel sorry for the actress. I'm not trying to come for her, but I feel like they just wrote her character like away on purpose. And I feel like they need to do that. And I skipped the last 4 episodes because I didn't care. I didn't care anymore. And then when I saw, I will say that I did like the mini villains of season 5. I really did like them for some reason. But the ending of 5, I didn't care. I didn't cry or anything. I was like, well, yeah, delete her. Bye, Nora. See you never. Maybe. Like, I just didn't care. And even season 6 is cool. I'm kind of skipping around season 6, but yeah, it's cool. I do agree. I think after season 7 it should end because the writing's getting very, very like one dimensional. Very like just we need to throw in a lot of metas to make up time in between the drama parts because there isn't any, and let's just have a lot of characters and have multiple PVs and have them all do different things and then come together for Barry. And I'm just like, I don't want to watch that. I miss the days of Thawne. Like, that's why like that ending with him in it, I was like, okay, like it doesn't receive like it used to. It just felt like, oh, we need a big villain, Thawne. It's just like, okay, I guess.
Because Tom Cavanaugh's so good.
He is. He loves that role. You can tell he really loves playing Dawn because he gets into it with like the deep voice and the scream, the outburst. Like, oh yeah, he loves this character.
But don't forget, we had other good villains other than Dawn. We had actual Captain Cold, Heatwave. We actually had good rogues.
I didn't like Cicada. I feel they tried to make him too dark, and it didn't. Like, he's not. He's just some dude with shrapnel in his chest and the dagger. Like, I was just like, you mean tell me he's better than Thawne? I don't believe that. Thawne killed people. Like, I don't believe. No. And then when his knees turned into, I was like, okay, I guess, but I didn't care.
When me and James, I was gonna say that when me and James was watching season 5 at the time still, and we would text each other every week, and Sam was also watching it, so we would talk about it here and there before we go live on the podcast and everything. And it's just, we kept saying like, why are they doing this stupid shit? What the fuck is going on with these people? Like, what's going on here with Barry? What's going on here? Like, me and James will always make jokes about Tom because every single version of Wells will always be, run, Barry, run.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
dude,
you're already supposed to know that. You are the speedster. Like, like, we love those moments. The way Tom always delivers it, the way each Wells always says it is perfect. But like, when you're a speedster, why do you need somebody else to motivate you by saying run? That is your freaking power. That's your power. You should run already. And when you escape, when you let a villain escape and somehow run, they can run a block or 2 blocks. And when you say to the cops, say like, yo, guys, they got away. My dude, you are the fastest man alive. Your intro says you're the fastest man alive, but then you're not. You can't even catch a guy that's probably running a block away or trying to take a cab.
Wait, when Barry almost like was about to kill Cicada, and Honora Kim was like, "Dad, it's me." Barry said, "Oh," and just walks away from Cicada. I'm like, Barry, you could cuff him, and then Cicada just flies away. I'm like, first of all, why is he always flying away when it's the? But I'm like, Barry, cuff him. No one said you had to kill him, but cuff him. But you're just like, Nora, you're alive. You really walk off the top of the villain and go to your daughter. Like, she has fast healing. She'll be fine. Why are you worried? Like, I was just like, that was the dumbest scene. Or when they try to take Cicada's thing after going back in time and almost messing everything up, and then you vibe into space? Vibe into a cell. Why are you vibing into space? Of course he's gonna bring it back. Why do you think y'all went to get a dampener? Like, I just felt like that was such a lazy ass way of trying to be like get a villain to go away. Because I was just like, that's so stupid. Just vibe into a cell like you did with the other Meditech. Like, just so it was so dumb. I was like,
that is called bad writing, my friend.
It's bad writing, but also like bad storyline, because we know that they have a whole Star Labs. We barely see each room that was. Back in season 1 and 2, they had a whole meta jail. Now, we haven't seen that since season 5. Like, what happened to you to put this type of people in prison in your meta little tubes that was where it was the whole particular accelerator? Now it's just not being used. Like, I get it. To
be honest, I always hated that. I felt like they should have been working with Argus the whole time, because it's not like Argus didn't exist when Barry became the Flash. He could have worked with Oliver.
Oh yeah,
do that.
100%.
I always hated that they housed prisoners inside of Star Labs. It's like, bad idea, guys.
Yeah, like they're in your own crib. You're gonna have people here literally just come and walk out like nothing.
And my thing is, their systems are always going down. You mean to tell me the systems are always going down in the medications? You should be having riots daily. So I was just like when Oliver and Barry broke out of the one cell, all of them should have went. I was just like, I'm not a scientist, but if one goes out, I think they all do. So I was just like, plot holes. Didn't like that.
What's funny is that sometimes they have a satellite, sometimes they don't have a satellite. I'm like, yeah, like who's banking this money? Like who's banking?
Who's paying for this?
Cisco, his credit cards. He said.
No, well, for what we know, back in season 4 or 3 is that when Wells
Barry
Wells
owns
of the
it.
Future,
Right.
Barry owns it. But I'm like, how is Barry making the money to sustain the light of this place? Because isn't he a cop? Like, isn't he a CSI?
He just got his job back. He was working with damn Depney doing IP work, and that gets paid pro bono. So there's no way he's able to pay that loft they live in. Him are living in that big ass science center. There's no way.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Have you seen that loft? Can you imagine what that costs?
That loft is beautiful. There's no way in hell that they're affording that. And Iris doesn't even have a job like that. She has a blog. She doesn't get money. I'm sorry. She's not getting paid.
Their job has not become sustainable yet.
Like you did not become the Daily Planet, or you didn't become the Daily Bugle. Like, you did not become nobody to actually.
Joe West pays for everything. I'm sorry. He's the best dad. He pays for everything because he loves his kids. He pays for everything. Okay, I'm so glad he got raised.
And my stepmom too.
Oh yeah, she's district attorney. They pay everything. That's why when Nora came in, it was like, oh, my mom. She was like, little girl, you gonna put some respect in your mama name. I'm so glad someone said it, because I was like, Iris, you must not whoop Nora's ass growing up, because for her to have this mouth on her, for what? I was like, girl. Gonna be like when she got the metahuman and like I got him in a damn motorcycle, went to the old car. I said, God damn it, Nora. I was like, Nora, God damn it. It's like, oh my God, you're 30. Why are you acting like this? Stop it.
No, it's ridiculous.
It's like you said it behind the scenes. Nora, as an actress, so excited.
Yeah, so cute.
Her in the interviews, she's adorable, she's beautiful, and she was excited to do this role. But the writers literally had her underwhelming in her scenes. She didn't give her good lines, because her lines felt like a teenage drama who's supposed to be in the show 30 years old. Because she explained it of all the years that she never had powers and everything, but then she acted like she was 15, who just lost a puppy. Because also, how do you know about going to the Flash Museum, knowing about your father and everything? Yeah, you don't know that he's a Flash, but if you know about the Flash history, how the hell do you get tricked by Reverse Flash, the guy that is in prison, and you go ask him for help about your powers?
But how are you gonna tell your
What?
father to stop being the Flash? Like, I would have. Oh, you know how bad I want to slap the taste out of that girl man when she said that. I was like, Nora, are you kidding me? But what I will say is, I did love the scenes with Nora and Barry running. Those scenes were so cute and wholesome. They animated very well. You really caught her excitement and her expression running with her dad, and Barry just running behind her like that's my dad. Like it was really cute. But it's just when they were talking, she made me want to pull my hair out because she was new here. Like there's like niggas die every day on his job. Like, what is your problem? Like, why are you upset? And she was just like, you don't care. I'm like, you can stress Iris out, but leave Barry alone. Don't stress Barry out now. Like, don't do that. Like, he'll need that stress. Like, but their daughter was terrible. I'm sorry. Like, they really wrote her really badly. I think they knew that. That's why they were like, yeah, bye. Let's run her out of here because there's nowhere to go with her. You know, like
Same thing with Jesse Quick. When they realized that they had no idea what they were doing with that character, they just killed her off and we never saw her again. And also the actress went on to do another show, but it's because she wasn't doing anything on The Flash.
Yeah, she said, "I y'all pay me, I'm outie."
and it's sad because the actor for Wally West, he decided because his own personal reasons. So like I loved him as Wally West. That's why I do enjoy when he is able to come back. But they don't have that younger demographic anymore because of creative differences or actors leaving. But Nora wasn't the answer. Like Nora.
Yeah, I feel like in the writers' room they were like, what would be really cute if Nora made the exact same mistakes as her dad. I was like, oh, that would be so poetic, but how do we do it? I don't know. Let's just make this shit up. And that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because I get it. Barry was tricked by Thawne. So it's like, oh, well, she didn't grow up with him. And just to show how much like they are alike, is like, oh, she was also tricked by Thawne. The difference is you have decades of information that tells you that the Reverse Flash is Barry Allen's greatest antagonist ever out of his entire rogues gallery. Thawne is the worst. And I get it. She didn't have anyone to teach her about her speed. Her mom didn't tell her anything.
But why
She
go to
didn't know
Thawne?
anyway.
You
I
really
don't
could have
know,
went
'cause-
to everyone.
Like,
I
you
don't
could have gone to your uncle, Wally West.
I keep
You could have gone
saying
to
that.
him.
I get
Like-
the curiosity of wanting to meet Thawne because he was Barry's greatest antagonist, but to do what he says,
And listen,
come on, like Thawne is the most selfish
you
being
a bitch
in
slap that
existence.
daughter of yours.
You cannot trust him, you idiot. You're 25. You can't be this stupid. How can you be so easily manipulated? Like, he is the worst. Why do you think he's in prison? How did you he's on death row. How did you allow him to convince you that he was just, misguided? That's bullshit.
She really it's like whenever she would learn something new, she would act out on it. Like, yeah, this all metas are bad, all villains are bad, and I was like, hold on, let's let's calm down now. Like, no, it's just she just I was raised her, so it's not like she don't know. Like, I was raised her. I didn't know I was teaching her some stuff. So I just really I didn't find her character believable to where she said I was angry at you, mom. So for what? I was the most perfect mom. You had your mom stressed out, thinking she's gonna be this terrible human being raising you. And Barry instead, he was like, "No, I know whatever you do is for good reason." And yes, it was because you do too much. Like you don't think, you just do whatever. And of course, she had to dampen your speed. 'Cause I would too. Like, you do the most. Like, calm down. And Iris probably had no one around to teach her how to raise a kid with a speedster. Cause like I said, no, Wally Paul was out doing his thing, like how he is now. So it's like she probably was like, this kid needs to be normal as possible because I don't know what to do with her. And I'll do the same thing. I'm like, girl, you have no powers. It's okay. You'll be okay.
But to answer what John says, right, true, Don did do talk no jutsu to Nora because he literally said like, hey, I can tell you about your father, so come here and to listen to me, to help me escape, go back in time, go spend time with your father, but come back and tell me everything you need to do and talk with him and everything. I'm like, so they literally tell you to go back in time and talk to your father and talk to him and also help him get out of prison, and you really still think that he's a good guy when your father said that he's your greatest enemy, and you still go back and cry to him?
Like literally feeding him information, and like I don't
fucking-
understand. She's like, he's good, and you guys should hate me. Yes, we should, because you're stupid. You're stupid. Like you're dumb. Like, but you're smart. Oh, I was learning quantum physics in the 5th grade. Well, clearly you don't have no common sense, because how you learn like
common sense.
But
it wasn't believable.
I want to since we're talking about so much about season 5, I also want to talk about season 6. 'Cause it's I'm very disappointed about Mirror Master. Even though that's not the full Mirror Master powers and everything, and finding out in season 7 that she's not the real one, she's a fragment of the one that died. So finding out information about that as well is like very lackluster, because it's something that could have been foreshadowed much long time ago. But knowing that this was the lead up to it, and yes, you could blame the pandemic and everything what it is or what it was, but Mirror Master, the role galleries, like if you want to put it to a small ratio out of 10, 3 out of the role galleries have been that good. Like I said, Dawn, Zoom was good. Grodd, when they actually want to spend their budget is actually good.
Savitar, bro.
Savitar, I will still say to you, James, I'm sorry, Savitar was very weak to me. Savitar, nope.
I like Savitar. I because he had Barry really pressed. Like he was very like pressed.
Because that was Barry from the future.
Well, yeah.
Or that was Barry from an alternative timeline. But that's very
it was him from
the timeline where he messed up.
Yeah. So like I don't fuck with that, because that should have been the other from the comic version of Avatar. If that was a comic version of Avatar, I will fuck with. But that was Barry looking with a piece of rose on his face. No,
they fused Savitar and Future Flash from the comics, which I was okay with. You know what I mean? Because
I wasn't okay with.
Does come back in time, and it's like if I just killed my entire Rogues Gallery, I wouldn't have any problems in the future. So that, I mean, I like how they blended those two characters together, so I didn't mind.
And plus, also Godspeed being multiple type of androids coming back from the future to the past. No, that also was whack as hell.
It is whack, but I give it a pass because we're going to get the real Godspeed.
I hope it's a good actor and delivers, because no disrespect to most of the Canadian actors that they bring on, because obviously they shoot in Vancouver, so they have to they use a set, they use a public stream and everything, so they have to give opportunities to these actors since they're around the area. But like, just spending extra money on budget and just flying people from flying people from other places to actually give good roles for these actual type of villains, because it's very hard to see these villains from the comics and get them very underperforming like that. Is saddening.
They upgraded on the suits, though. You can tell that a lot of it's going to these suit upgrades, which it's appreciated, because I did like Killer Frost's new suit. I do love the diversity in season 6. I it wasn't forced. It seemed very like natural, so I did appreciate that, especially with Chester coming on. Moment when I was like, oh my god, I need him. I need more of him. Like he's so cute.
Yeah, Chester's awesome. Like, season 6 was okay for me, right? Like, Mirror Master is a slight upgrade from the comics in terms of characterization, because in the comics, Mirror Master is just a thief, right? And he uses his abilities to steal money, and that's why the Flash has to take him out. But in this, she is someone who she thought, she was out for revenge against her husband, who pretty much erased her out of his life and took over all of her tech and used it for his own personal gain. So she was less of a villain and more of a antagonist, because she was willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done, right? So in that aspect, it was fine. But it's still kind of weak, because she doesn't really do much. You know what I mean? Like, I on top of that, Barry was losing his speed, which was interesting. You know what I mean? Like, you need to add like some weight to the Flash character. So, he killed the Speed Force, and now he's losing his speed, and now he needs this time watch. And
I'm sorry, I did not fuck with the storyline of him losing his speed.
No, me neither.
He is the ignition of the Speed Force. How do you lose this? How do you?
I
And just because the blood work went inside your system is becoming negative. Like what the fuck? Like I
Yeah,
get
it's
it. You need
I
drama.
was okay. Yeah, I was okay with blood work. Like Mercenary just brought up actually. Like blood work was manipulating Barry using his blood and everything. Like that was cool, but I don't feel like they actually capitalized on it. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of just goes away.
Yeah, but
and
thing is, the Speed Force is a god in a way. The Speed Force is a living thing, and I get it. The blood work, infiltrated that. I get it. That it's possible it became negative and everything. But for you now to make your own Speed Force by making a whole fake Speed Force and
yeah.
like it didn't make like logically maybe on paper makes sense for them, but on the TV show it did not because Barry did make his own Speed Force by the lightning, by all those formulas and everything. Just redo the lightning. Just redo the whole
Yeah,
formulas and everything.
it really wouldn't be that hard. They've already messed around with time and different realities so much. It's like, yeah, in the comics, Barry ends up being the lightning that gives him his own powers. So
Hmm.
it's like, why not just do something similar and just write it in with the story you've already created? Because I mean, the artificial speed force is fine, right? Because we know Thawne created his own artificial speed force in order for him to run and become faster and all that. But why did Barry have to do it the exact same way? I don't know.
And my issue was like Barry has grown so much in these past seasons. Like just watching Grant Gustin and like Master's role of him like being more of a leader. Because before he was just like, oh, what do we do, guys? Now it's like we do this. Like Cisco makes his own like AI system about Barry, like So like he's just become so accustomed to that leader
Hated it.
role to where for them to make it seem like, oh, here go Barry again, effing with the freaking Speed Force. I'm like that. What like he doesn't need any more like anything else to go through. He only going through so much. He went through like 2 crisis thing events in one season. So I'm just like I just felt like I was like, damn, like Barry can't catch a break. Like like I don't want them to make him like Oliver. Like now that he's gone, and I want him to be his own person because again, he's still the fun loving like Flash. And I was seeing those parts in 5 and 6, which I do appreciate. I just don't want to see depressed Barry again. I don't like. I want to see him grow more. I want to like he just lost his daughter, and now his speed. Like it's too much grief going on that I was like it wasn't needed for the storyline. Like I felt just to make up with all these new characters coming in who are new, probably aren't used to these roles yet, so they need like a set basis to keep people engaged. But it's like you don't need that. You don't need all of that.
Hey James, I would like to ask you, not to get into spoilers or anything, but season 7 episode from this past week, how do you think about a little ice person running fast?
Bro, I thought that was amazing. I lost my shit
It
the
was dope.
moment that Caitlyn injected herself with Velocity X, and then it's all in slow mo. She starts lighting up with the lightning. You can see it in her eyes, and then she just dashes off, and then they race each other. Bro, I jumped out of my chair. I was screaming at my TV, bro. I was like, "This is awesome!" I told you, bro.
It was a
Season
piece of
7,
shit.
Episode 2. It was lit, bro. You're
I
crazy.
hated it. I hated that scene.
Lit.
Like it was cool in retrospect. Cool, yo, Caitlyn running fast. Cool. This is something that she probably want to do at least once in the show. Cool, she got this opportunity. But in retrospect, this Velocity X, even Jesse Quick, even Zoom have said it. This thing should kill you if you're not a speedster. So I hope she
Well, I
gets some
mean,
type
they
of
made it.
like
They made improvements, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's just a
improvements
timing
and
on it.
everything.
It's
But
not dangerous anymore.
still, but it's like this Ice chick, Ice Queen from the comics and everything, and the TV show start to run so fast, and of course she's not gonna be Barry, but just is Ice Queen to have the Speed Force and everything start running, it's just threw me off. It was like, nah, this I don't fuck with it. Like this is just like yeah, like this is where like yeah, literally just threw shit to the wall. Like all right, so what's next, guys? Let's see. Ice Queen
I don't know,
running
bro. That
fast.
was
I got
dope,
it.
man. It was dope.
Nah,
But
nah,
we'll
nah.
get to that when we talk about episode 2. But John, they actually did Flashpoint in the beginning of season 3. The very first like 3 episodes, well, that entire season was all Flashpoint. So Barry changed everything at the end of season 2, and then he spends like the first 2 or 3 episodes in 3 living in the alternate reality, and then when he realizes everything is wrong, he goes back, changes stuff, and then we live with the repercussions of the changes that he made. So Diggle's child was different.
Mm,
Cisco's brother is dead.
mm.
All of these like Flashpoint changes. So they actually did a good job with Flashpoint on the TV.
It
Obviously, they
was
couldn't do it like the comics, but
it
it
was
was good with what
okay.
they had.
It was okay because Cisco kept blaming Eric and Barry throughout the whole season. Oh, oh, it's Flashpoint. Oh, it's Flashpoint. Oh, it's Flashpoint. Like, okay, my God, we get it. You've been saying it for the past 5 episodes. Just let it rest. Let it die. We get it. Flashpoint. Barry
I
fuck up
was I
already.
w- I'm okay with that in hindsight because when we get to the crossover and then Cisco messes up time and he
Yeah.
doesn't even realize it until it already happened, and then he was like, "Oh, Barry didn't even mean to do this on purpose." It's so easy to just fuck up the timeline. So it's like they paid it off in a way, but it was annoying at
But
the
I'm
beginning.
saying, like, throughout the whole season, they said,
Yeah,
like,
the whole season he had beef with him, and it was to the point
yeah,
where I'm like,
like,
don't shut
it,
up, like,
like
calm
it's
down.
fine. It's fine if it lasted to episode 10 or after the mid-season, crisis, crossover. Like after it passed, alright, cool. Yo, I understand. You did the timeline messed up. I did the timeline messed up. Okay, I understand how things go now. I can see how easy it is to change, and you f it up. Now I understand that. Alright, cool. We move on. But he said it throughout like, the whole season, like, my dude, Cisco, you was
Yeah, I feel
vibe.
like it took
Like
midway before he forgave Barry for what
yeah,
happened.
it did. And plus, Vibe, like Vibe is such a dope character in the comics, and just to have Cisco, the writers, part of the actor, like he just want to drop the idea of Vibe and everything. It's like, how do you drop Vibe? Like he's one of the most dopest characters in the comics, and just to bring him into the show, it's just you just
His
let it
Earth
go.
2 counterpart said it best. It's like, dude, with these powers, you are a
You're a god.
god. You are a
What
god.
when they introduced that the X-Men Cure, I was like, really, Cisco, like you make it seem like you have like I don't know, like I feel like he was like, I want to live a life and have a family, and then Kane was like, Barry got a family. Well, I'm not a speedster. I just what is it? Like I was just like, I don't. What are you mad about? Like you can touch something. Well, okay, yes, I get it. That's inconvenient for you, but you can still move on. Like it's just like I just was like, okay. And now that you have your powers anymore, now you're like, oh, I feel useless or whatever. I'm just like, okay, like I don't. Why did they do that to his character? Now he's just there at times. Like I don't know. I just feel like his character's been going down. That's why they been giving him so much like side stuff or vibe stuff with like what's her name? Dane DeVito's character to kind of build up, his
It's
character, but
Gypsy.
it's just boring.
Yeah, like I don't care for it at all. Like I think Cisco could have kept his powers. He could have been Cisco Ramon, the genius engineer, and Vibe. He could
Yes.
have done both. I've my girlfriend has said this. I've seen other people's perspectives. Not everyone wants the burden of having powers because they would have to be a hero, right? At that point. But me, I can't be the type of person that has that power and then be willing to give it up because I know I can make change. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like I feel like that's such a huge responsibility that he just gave up. It's like, dude, you can still have a family, you can still be the genius engineer, but with your abilities, we could save so much people
And they
with your
have
powers,
with
bro.
him. They've there's so many times where he's coming clutch with his portals and things like the whole bomb thing where he had to help the people in Argus. Like
Yeah.
that came in clutch. Like no, like it's just like they were utilizing his character so well. So for him to have this like moment after Nora dying, be like, I don't want that burning on my kids. I was like, then raise them to teach them how to use their power. Like tell them they don't have to use them. They don't want to. Like I just didn't feel unbelievable. Again, I was like, okay, like all right, like I don't know where they're going with this. I really don't know where they're going with these characters in their writing. I hope it doesn't
Yeah.
leave the show, but it's like I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
getting into season 7, like the first 2 episodes made me feel like I was watching the Flash that I fell in love with again.
The
Like
first episode.
season 1 is still my
Oh
favorite
yeah,
season, hands down, right?
yes.
I like 1, 2, 3. I actually think 4 is the worst cuz like I think the Thinker is actually he would have been a better villain for season 7 and we'll get into reasons why. But I feel like he would have been a better villain for this season. And then all of the villains of the week, the boss metas were really lame. I
They were.
fucking hate Ralph. I'm never gonna like Ralph Dibny. I'm glad he's gone. I
Yeah.
never fucking liked him. It doesn't matter to me. So it's like season 7 is finally true to form. Like the last 3 seasons, I just watched the show because it's like Grant's awesome, Tom's awesome,
Oh
and
yeah.
of course, like
Candace.
Cisco, Kate, all of the other characters are great. But it's just like dealing with some of the things in that show really pissed me off. But we're finally true to form again. And in this episode, we realize that in order for the Flash to run again, Nash Wells must die. So how did you guys feel about that? How did you guys feel about all the entire council of Wells have to sacrifice their lives in order to power the artificial speed force?
I give
Oh, sorry. You go ahead. You go ahead. You
I was
was
gonna
talking.
say that I just give props to Grant Gustin and Tom in episode 1. That they acted their ass off. Like they acted very, like probably one of their best scenes, because Grant had to act like Tom because he had Wells inside his head, and then Wells had to act like 2 new Wells and the other 6 that has been shown on screen, and each of them had to say bye, and the council of Wells and everything. And that conversation is very beautiful, impactful, and like as much as I could talk shit or cons about the show over the past years, Wells, Grant, and a couple other actors have been so many layers in their scenes and such good actors in the roles so much. But Tom is an experienced actor, but he's been doing this with this character for so long. I get emotional. I cried at the end, or tear more, and I did like a whole show, but I tear more knowing what Tom and Grant was acting like. You will always need a well and everything, which to me, that's for the show, yes, but for the Flash as the character comics, no. But for the show itself, yes, you always will need a Wells. And I love the line he said, like, run Barry run. It just fitted so well just for them to work together, and how each of them said bye. Like, it was cool with each of the circle thing changed when each
Yeah.
was saying bye. It was beautiful. But the Earth 2 one got me. Like, the Earth 2, when he said bye to Barry, that's the one that got me the most, because that's
Yeah,
the one
same.
that was with them the longest, and that was one that really connected with them, because that one's the one that replaced the Earth 1 Wells, aka Reverse Flash, and that was one that really connected with Cisco, which I wish Cisco was there for the scene, because this was a
Yeah.
scene that should have
That was
had
so
both of
weird
them.
that Cisco wasn't there to say goodbye to
Yeah,
Harry. Like,
it
that was
was
so weird.
it was weird. I'm like, he should be here, but whatever. But this just was an impactful scene for them. And Grant, like I said, like really acted well, because he had to have the other Wells inside his head, and that's something that you have to portray a character that you don't really act as much, but portray Sherlock,
Sherlock.
portray,
Shuluk.
yeah,
Shuluk.
Sherlock with a look.
Look.
I
Look.
like it was just amazing. But Spicy, how did you feel about that?
Yeah, like Tom Cavanaugh's my favorite actor ever since he played in this one little Christmas movie when I was a kid. I had it like I forgot the name of it, but he played Santa's like son. He goes and finds love. It was an ABC Family show. So I was always on a Flash. I was like, oh my god, I love him. He's so adorable. So, but he's really like cemented himself as like the brains of Team Flash, and ever since the start till now, you can tell he loves his character, and finding out that like he directs a lot of these episodes too as
Mm-hmm.
well. It just shows how much invested he is in this series, how much he loves it, and how much he performs. Like this man performs in each character. Like the fact that it made multiple Wells, and how he can. I like the one like like the who's in that actor, like the one who's like kind of like, yeah dude, like with the robe on. I forgot, bro. Like he like you can tell he loves like comics and stuff like that. Cause like it's like Sherlock Holmes, like
Yeah.
and Indiana Jones. Like
Mhm.
it's just so much for like comic nerds and fiction nerds. But like yeah, like he and that's why I like Nash, because Nash was in like the other Wells. Like he even said that. Like he's like, I'm not a good person, and they're like, well, you're part of us, so yeah. So for him to say like I don't want to die yet was very like human for him to say that, and different from other Wells. So I really did appreciate that. Um But just seeing that scene, I was like, dang, man, like. And then the next episode, they kind of like have like a little like montage for him. I was like, oh, dang, he's really gone. So it just was like hardening. But like Barry said, he's like, we gotta start thinking for ourselves now, and I do agree. But it was sad to see him go because he really was part of the crew. Like he was so extra and eccentric, and I loved that. And like he was sassy to everyone, and I loved him and Cisco's relationship, and things like that. So and it was just sad to see him go.
Yeah, it was hard to watch all of the Wells go, and like you guys already alluded to, like Tom Cavanaugh's performance just going through the different Wells, his facial expressions, his mannerisms, every time he changed, I instantly knew who the character was before he even said anything. Like that just shows like how amazing of an actor this dude is.
Agree.
And then watching Grant, like Vash already said it, like they were acting their asses off in this episode. Watching Grant like do his best like Tom Cavanaugh like Wells impressions, that was awesome. Like watching Eva McCulloch like slowly learn that she's actually like the mirrored duplicate and the actual Ava actually already died. So it's like this episode was a really, really strong opening. It was really heartfelt too. You know what I mean? The fact that all of the Wells the council had to sacrifice themselves in order for the Flash to run again. So that was really, really powerful for me. And I really liked it. Like I really liked Chester too. Like I love Chester's role on Team Flash, like him being the engineer. He was acting his ass off too. Like his facial expressions and his mannerisms while the Wells were being absorbed into the generator, like just watching his facial expressions, like man, like the acting was so good in this first episode. I loved it.
I don't know where they found the actor for Chester, but I'm so happy CW found him because like he just steals. I don't know. He takes up the room in like a really positive, quirky light.
Yes.
And he knows. I like the way they dress him too. Like I just really love. Like I was yelling at Barry because like he wants to help. He likes Barry. Like he really wants to help, but he's a bomb. So I get Barry's like anxiety, but I'm like, let him help. He wants to help you. Let him help. Okay, it's okay. Like he wants to help, and he's so cute. Like oh my, I hope they keep his character. They keep his character and they give him someone like they just do him right because I don't want to repeat a Firestorm and Vixen and everything else. I really want them to just keep his character fluid, keep him going. Like don't treat him like Diggle, but just keep him present like how Diggle is and Arrow and what have you. Because you just we need that, and he's such a good character already. Day one in season 5 when they introduced him, I was like, yeah, I need more of him. Like more.
Hopefully,
Awesome.
his character is more very consistent as well. Hopefully, in some episodes they don't make him dumb. Hopefully, in some episodes they keep him smart. Like he's a smart dude, smart character. So keep him smart and keep him helping out with the artificial speed force and everything. That's very useful. So let him continue helping with that and then very assistant. But to what James said earlier, like why was Cisco not there with the whole Wells type of situation? Like that's something like that Barry said at that, like, oh, sucks that Cisco was not here because Wells was a father figure. I'm like, so where the fuck was he there? And then we found it in episode 2, oh, it's because he was in the city of Atlantis where Aquaman was.
Wait, yeah, that's why I was confused. He was like, oh, I'll use Atlantean tech. I was like, Atlantean tech? Wait. I was like, where did you go to Atlantis? Cisco?
Yeah,
anyway,
at the end of season 6, so it's like it makes sense because they're trying to find anything to make the artificial speed force work, and so it makes sense that he missed it. Like it kind of would have been a coincidence if he made it back in time, but I also just wish deep down that Cisco was there for that moment. But I think they're weaning us off of Cisco Ramon as the tech guy in Team Flash, man. Like I don't know if Carlos is going to be doing it much longer because Chester is a great engineer. That was Cisco's role on the show, the genius engineer that could literally build any tool that the Flash needs. And then so I think they're slowly trying to remove Cisco.
And then in episode 2, they made it more useless because Cisco was trying to solve the whole artificial and help the whole mirror, and then Barry made him feel useless again because his whole vibe was like, hey, let me try to finish the sentence, but then Barry's like, I know what you're gonna do, I know what you're gonna say because I'm a smart dude and I have my speed of that. that I just got from the comics finally because they finally wrote this story plot in my show. The hell?
He would be too OP, bro. So let's talk about that real quick. Let's jump into episode 2 because I think episode 2 was a lot of fun to watch for me personally, and I can't wait to get into this debate with Vash, and then Spicy, you can be the tiebreaker. But I thought this episode was dope. Like I love now that Barry has the artificial speed force. Now he has speed thinking, which, like Vash said, is something that he always had in the comics. So when this show started, I was like, why the fuck do we need a Team Flash? Barry has speed thinking. He can run around the entire planet like 7 times in seconds. Why does he need a team of people that think way slower than he does? And then he just never has that power until he gets the artificial speed force, and this is a new ability that he gets. Because let's be real, he would be way too OP if he had speed thinking all of the time. It's already dumb enough that villains get away from him. Like, it would be dumb if he wasn't able to figure out everything, right? Because with speed thinking, I mean, it's speed thinking. He can think of every single variable possible in milliseconds, which is another reason why I think the Thinker would have been a better villain for this season, because the Thinker is the fastest mind. He has the fastest mind alive versus the fastest man alive. So with Barry's ability to speed think, he would have been a great opposition for the Thinker and vice versa. So it's like, I just felt like it was just bad timing, and like I'm perfectly fine with him not having speed thinking anymore, because again, it would just be way too OP. It would be way too OP.
I was gonna say that, like, guess what? It only lasted 1 episode, so like most storylines, most things in these type of Arrowverse TV shows, and it was very disappointing because in the first episode, it was such a big thing. Wells gave his life. All the Council of Wells gave his life for this artificial speed force. Cool. But then, at the end of the episode, episode 2, you know what Barry did? Hey, this thing is hurting my brain because it's taking the emotions away. Let me destroy the artificial speed force. Like, so what the fuck was the point of the Wells sacrifice of life? Like, I get it, but it's a story. It's story drama.
Disabled it. Right?
Yeah, it's temporarily disabling.
He temporarily disabled it so that they can figure out how to keep his emotions on while not like turning to the dark side, for lack of a better term.
Because
that's what happened with Thawne, right?
Yes, it was that's what Cisco say. Yep,
his emotions that went dark that allowed him to like fuel the artificial speed force. To counteract that, they removed emotion from it, which was the wrong thing. So he only did it to temporarily stop it so that they can fix it later, because he was hurting. He defeated Team Flash in seconds, bro. So he had to stop it.
Well, even without the speed thinking, the Flash should either way beat Team Flash because he's the fastest man alive. But
right.
With the show, they don't make him the fastest man alive, but it's still questionable. But even John said as right now, wouldn't speed thinking lead to madness, since trying to process every event and variable, it'd be like how to treat and knowledge ICU type of network as in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Okay, I have not played that game, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I haven't played the game yet.
But that's why with Barry, instead of going to madness, he lost his emotions, because he was like an AI. He was like a robot. He didn't process emotions. So when he brought his wife to come out of the mirror world, she got into a panic attack, and also she said, hey, take these people instead of me because they need to go out first. Barry was like a robot, and AI like, wait, I did not see this variable to happen. You're supposed to come out because I saw this as the most possible outcome. But he did not process that because he has no emotions. So that's a very tough situation. Like, I understand what the writers were going for, but I feel like it was a poor execution in that aspect. Like, it was cool for what me and James spoke about earlier, the Caitlyn with the whole speed force and everything. It was dope to see, but in a writing standpoint, it had no logical sense to work because of her ice abilities, and her ice molecules and everything supposed to slow things down, but the Velocity X technically speed everything up for her to still use it and still work with the ice.
Her ice powers also give her accelerated healing too, so you have to take that into account. And I mean, Velocity X is universal; like anyone can use it, and it's just on a time limit. So what I think the other thing is, this was a plan, right? This was a protocol to take out the Flash, right? So it could have been Caitlyn, it could have been someone else, but someone was going to inject themselves with Velocity X to try to keep up with the Flash with the zero G blast. So, Spicy, what did you think of episode 2? Like, what did you think about the cold, calculated Barry that didn't care about anything except logic?
So like I only got halfway through because like I was crunched for time, but I did catch where Barry was turning into literally a robot. Like his that's why I love Grant Gustin, because literally his whole mannerisms began to change. Like he started to like be more like straight, like stand up straight, be more like he clasped his hands together. He wasn't like the Barry knew. He kind of was just like all about science, and I like that because it's like when Kaylin got her, like it's funny because like the previous episode, they were like Barry, like he's Barry instead. He was like, I feel like all my villains use my heart against me. So seeing how they add this in, where okay, so what happens if your heart was to be taken away and it was just what you think you want? How would that go? So I did like that. I did like how Cisco was kind of getting upset because like he said he used to be the smartest person in the room, and so I did like how like they were going back and forth and how like yeah Barry wasn't wrong, so Cisco couldn't say anything. But again, like the heart thing. So I did like that aspect of it, and I thought it was funny because this scene Barry, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back and figure out another answer, and they're like, what is wrong with him? But I did like that poetic thing because you see Barry very depressed about again having to take shoulders this decision of taking this one for the team, and then seeing okay, what if you want what you think you need, you don't really need it. So I did like that on the writer's part, but
Yeah, I also like the fact that the artificial speed force didn't work right away, right? Like I feel like it would have been pretty cheap if they just magically figured it out. I like that there's growing pains like leading into the artificial speed force. So that journey was something that I really liked as well. And just watching Barry go through all of these different possibilities, all these different variables, and then doing the most unhuman thing, unhero thing possible, which is choosing the life of one over the life of multiple people when Iris has been in the mirror dimension way too long. Like he should have gotten out Singh and Camilla, but it's because he didn't have his emotions that he couldn't make that decision, which is what made him wrong.
And also, it just popped into my head that so Mirror Master and the other villains knows about Barry losing her, his speed, right? And you know how they know about Star Labs, that's probably his, his central hub. And now he has an artificial speed force. Technically, anybody could go into Star Labs because you know how bad, horrible their whole security is, right?
it's so bad.
Horrible, bro.
Anybody could destroy his artificial speed force. Anybody could like, hey guys, we're about to go fight the Flash downtown of Central City. So while we go find distract him, can you go and just walk in inside Star Labs and to destroy the speed force so we could just go kill the Flash?
So John,
Like that's possible.
I don't think that's the case that emotions are slowing you down. The reason why they chose to remove emotion was because of Thawne. Like Thawne used his negative emotions, his anger, to fuel his negative speed force, and they just decided to do the exact opposite to stop Barry from going down that path. And they just had the wrong calculations. So this is just leading to Cisco having to figure out new calculations to where he can still have his actual emotions, but not have them take over the artificial speed force and manipulate Barry. So I do think that's interesting. I do have to give them credit for that. I do like that Nash eventually does go through with it and sacrifices himself. He talks about it. He's like, you know what I see in myself right now? Pride, honor, something that he hasn't felt ever in his life, because he's always felt like this extremely selfish person. Like Cisco told him, like, we lost all of the wells, we lost all of the multiverse, and we got stuck with the one wells that destroyed the multiverse. You know what I mean? So he just feels this sense of responsibility, and especially when it came to the possibility of Allegra possibly dying, he knew that with his love for her, he had to sacrifice himself. And I love that. It worked really well for me. His sacrifice was so heartwarming. And man, like Tom Cavanaugh, like I'm going to miss his interpretations of all of these characters.
Me too. I really hope he stays on and helps continue directing some of the episodes, because he's also a really great director as well. But It was sad to see him go.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen the end of the episode, and I'm sorry that I have to spoil it for you. But when Barry disables the artificial speed force, like the speed force is literally torn from out of him, right? And then
Mm.
after that, we get a flashback to when Reverse Flash killed the original Harrison Wells. And then we go back to the grave site, and Harrison Wells materializes out of the grave into his body. Now
Thank you,
wait,
Spicy. Thank you, Spicy. That's the same reaction I give out. Like, what's this
wait,
bullshit?
think bigger,
All right,
right?
all right,
Think
yes, go
bigger.
ahead. Please
It's
convince me.
Thawne. It's Thawne, bro. Think about it. All of the Wells are gone. Can you imagine the spit in the face it would be to Team Flash if the only face that they would see, the only Wells face that they would see for the end of time belonged to Eobard Thawne? That's why I don't want it to be the other actor. That's why I still want it to be Tom Cavanaugh, because Tom Cavanaugh is the best version of Reverse Flash, and it would be, again, the biggest spit in the face if he came back, manipulated them again into thinking that he's actually Harrison Wells, and then he actually turns out to be Reverse Flash again. That would be the biggest kick in the face to Barry. I'm telling you. It's
It
Thawne,
is-
bro. It's not the original Harrison Wells.
It is beautiful. The way you bring it up is impactful. The way you're preaching it to me, the way you're convincing it, like the way you are a producer, like right now, the way you put it in the room, like, yo, this is beautiful, let's do it. If you was running the show, I'll be like, fuck it, let's go. I'll watch it. I will be with it. But CW is the one that's running the show.
Yeah.
I don't trust them with this storyline. That's why I'm saying, like, I have my hopes low for this. If me and James, or if James with this idea, or if people that actually were creative with this idea and actually thought process, and if that's CW, I'll be like, alright, cool. I could get this. I could fuck with this. Cause I knew that's probably Reverse Flash. I knew that was done with that smile and everything. Cause he didn't do a full smile and everything, but I knew that was probably Reverse Flash, since Grant Gustin said last year that they're gonna bring back Reverse Flash Dawn. I'm like, okay, how you gonna do this?
It's that, and Thawne doesn't have a body right now.
Correct.
He is
doesn't
just
back.
floating around. Can you imagine that the body he finds is that of the original Harrison Wells, so that he can fuck with Team Flash again?
It will work, but
It would be
CW will fuck it up.
amazing, bro.
I get it, but CW is gonna fuck it up though. I don't trust
'Cause-
them.
No, I agree with both, because like I said, I do. I'm not gonna lie, I did like the switch between Tom Cavanaugh's Reverse Flash and the other actors. I feel like it added a lot to like the stakes of like this character, how fucked up he was, how much he wanted to mess with Barry's head, how he would go back and forth between these two characters. So I did like that. I felt like when they brought back Thawne with Tom Cavanaugh, again, I love Tom Cavanaugh. I feel like he plays Thawne well, but I felt like it was like, I don't know, like they had to have the blonde hair. I was like, don't do that. Just have him have the regular hair. But if they were to bring him back, they'd have to have the same stakes as like season 1 and 2 was. Because I just felt like at the end of season 5 with Nora and Thawne, I felt like it was lacking just a little bit. I was kind of like, but when they were running, I was like, okay, I missed this. Like, you know, I want more of this. So if that was the case, they'd have to make a really, really like heavy storyline for that if they were to bring him back. They can't just like use him to bring back fans, where they have to have a storyline that matches of season 1 and 2 type. So
I can't remember who said it, but Reverse Flash is supposed to be the main villain of season 8. So
okay,
we are getting back to that for sure. That's what leads me to believe that Tom Cavanaugh is coming back as Thawne. Again, I think it would just be the greatest thing ever to tear Team Flash down again. Because all of the other Wells are gone.
yeah,
There's no images of them. They're all gone.
there's no one that can help.
And the only Wells face that they will ever see ever again belongs to Eobard Thawne. It would be the most fucked up, poetic thing ever. And I am praying that it's Thawne, because we gain nothing by it actually being the original Harrison Wells.
James,
we gain nothing.
I never, throughout this whole conversation, I never said I disagree with you. I agree with you. I could hardly agree with you that this is Thawne, Reverse Flash, and he's gonna cause drama. But like I said, if we, or people that were actually writing the show that were good, this will go great. But it's a W. And if this will be good at season 1, chemistry as the psychological drama, the Scar type of Cisco thing again, and Caitlyn and Robbie and everything, like
That's
of him
why
bringing
it's
up.
him, bro.
No, like if this goes on, then I'll be happy with this season. I will take my words in 5 weeks, 8 weeks from now. I will from 8 shows from now. I will take my words back. I'll be like, damn, I was wrong. Back in Villains in episode 9, I was wrong. Alright, cool, I take that back. But CW is doing the hands of the show. They are gonna right the ship down left, not down right, like where it should go. It's gonna be down left, and it's not gonna go well with the storyline. I just don't have high hopes for it. Again, it could go down right, it could go ship great for this storyline with Wells, aka Dawn. And I hope next week, aka on Wednesday, when I watch this episode of this week, and on Friday when we do a little mini segment of it, I will be hella excited for it if it goes well. And I'll take my words back. But again,
Yeah.
I don't have high hopes
find out,
for City.
I'm hoping we find out tomorrow, because tomorrow's the next episode of The Flash. So I'm hoping.
Yeah, but
I'm hoping
I just watch
that
it
we
Wednesday.
find out. Yeah.
I did like how Nora was almost turning into Thawne. I was like, no, if they do something with that and Thawne, like, you know, that would be cool. Like, just to see, like, Thawne, like, all right, Barry, this is your daughter. Like, if Thawne do some shit as, like, to bring Nora back as, like, him or some shit like that. There's a fuck, because that's some shit he would do, bro. I would love that then. And I would love to see the actors come back and kind of, like, play that role, because she was playing it when she was, like, going in and out. So I was like, oh yeah, I could see Thawne doing that.
Yeah, man.
Like, here, Barry, here's your daughter. You want her back?
Because Thawne has to come back. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the other guy that played Thawne. He did an amazing job. He didn't try to do what Tom Cavanaugh did.
No.
He did his own thing with Thawne, and it instantly felt like the comics. But the face that fans recognize the most, that fans love the most, is Tom Cavanaugh, bro. And if he's going to be the main villain of 8, it would make sense that Team Flash has to stare at the face of the only Wells left, and it's Eobard Thawne, just fucking with them again.
I just love how Jay's like just put it in the hand, like, it will go good, guys. Like, trust me. Put it on the wall. We will slap it right there. It will go good. Done. Traumatized. Boom. We will make it. We will write it each week. It will make sense somewhere, some way or another in CW. It will make sense. Just add drama a bit, and right there, sprinkle a bit of show emotions, and we're good.
If it's actually, go ahead, Spicy.
No, cause I feel like if that was the case, they won't be throwing all these annoying ass stupid metas at us. Because it will be Thawne. He would take up so much of the season to just like 2-3 metas here and there, and Thawne just fucking with everyone. I feel like that would take away from this bland writing and so much metas and people they're throwing at us right now. So I feel like, yes, I do agree with that. I feel like that will help a lot with the writing and calm a lot of stuff down and build a lot of more stakes again, like how season 1 and 2 was.
And plus, to add to what James was saying,
I really hope so.
About the actor that was playing the original Thawne from the future, that actor reminded me of the Reverse Flash from the
Flashpoint
Paradox.
Flashpoint, yes.
He reminded me so much of him.
Yes.
Like the way he spoke to Barry, the way he yes, Tom is great, but the way he spoke to Barry, did you watch or read the comics of Flashpoint Paradox, man, dude? Because you literally acted like him. Like, you literally about to just say the speech he told to Barry before you got shot in the head. Like, Barry, you know, remember that time? I wish that scene was real, but the scene but you know what I'm talking about the scene that, you know,
the reason why. You going on you cake when you touched that girl today?
I was there, Barry. I was there. When you got wet, in your pants, I was there. I don't know when I was jerking you off, and I'm like, oh shit, man.
This nigga is so evil, bro. For all because he's a fan. You're a fan, but you just destroyed his life.
Like, a lot of people, when people talk about Joker and Batman, people forget, like, there's Dawn. That, like, Dawn is more obsessed. Dawn is literally obsessed of Barry. Joker just likes the fun. Joker just loves the excitement. Dawn is literally obsessed from the future of his hero, but he was so obsessed from him that he became his most nemesis, his most arch enemy, because of how much he was obsessed with Barry Allen. it's just to know this actor did both of them, Tom, and I'm sorry for the other actor that I have to forget his name, but both of them have done such a beautiful job for each of their own roles of which version of Reverse Flash, aka Dawn. But they do such a great job that's so unique for either or. So I hope when the series ends, hopefully the writers found a logical way to bring back both in a logical way.
Yeah, because when it's funny, whenever they go back in time, you just know which Wells it is by just by Tom Cavanaugh's way of exuding his presence. You're like, oh shit, that's Dawn, that's Dawn. Like, you just know, like, oh, that's the other one. Like, you just, because the Dawn and the one after him are similar, but there's still a difference. But you just know, oh, that's Dawn. You just know it's Dawn because it's his attitude and the way he crosses his legs, and it's the way he looks at Barry. I just love that duality of it. Like, you just feel it. Like, yeah, we gotta be careful how we talk.
And plus, Tom, when he's Dawn, he wears that whole dark outfit, meaning wearing that black shirt right there. And when he does the glasses thing, this.
Yes, yes. He just takes off and he has his legs crossed and he's like, okay, hey Barry. And Barry's like, here, go this nigga, bro. Barry be like, hey. He'd be like,
yo, damn, you're
Dawn? What you need my help with now? What you need my help with now? He'd be like, here you go.
James, talk. Because I seen your face, you got something to say.
Dude, I love Tom Cavanaugh. And by the way, that actor's name is Matt Letcher.
Yes, Matt Letcher, thank you, yes.
Right? But this dude, he's just so good. But I just don't know what they gain by having the original Harrison Wells come back, right? Yes, Cisco and Caitlin know him. We would get the whole fish out of water thing because he doesn't know what happened over the past 7 years, 7+ years. He knows that his wife is dead. Sure, that would be interesting and compelling that they have to learn the actual Harrison Wells from Earth 1. That's boring as shit. I want Thawne. I want Tom Cavanaugh as Thawne to round out this series. The dude is just too good. But before we head out, I want to know, who is your favorite Harrison Wells?
I knew you were going to ask
Which version is your favorite?
I like...
Thawne doesn't count because he's technically not a Wells.
So he's not a Wells. What sucks? We never get the true Prime Wells. If you really think about it, that's the least Wells we know. No, I don't want him. I know, but I'm just saying, that's the least Wells we know.
Yeah.
Even though that's the most people of Earth, Prime knows about him, but we as the audience never knows anything about him. That's the least informational we know about the actual Prime Wells.
I liked the one after. I liked the Wells after Thawne because he was kind of the perfect he was familiar with them, but then it kind of made it to where it's they didn't want to trust him, and it even made him kind of grow. But I was sad to see him go, so I did like him. But I also liked the one with the sticks. He was just so he was so cute. HR, oh my god, HR was so cute, and it freaked everyone out because they were he was just so hey guys, and he was smart. So
he was supposed to be a genius.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not. But he still has stuff to say. He still added on. He still learned, and he was like the heart. Cause I think during that time, that's when everyone's freaking depressed and shit. And he was kind of the light of it all. They're he's it's okay, guys. Boom, and they're people are dying. And he's
yeah.
So
you got this, BA.
Yeah, he was so cute. So I like to see Barry ask him when he went down and immediately got the hat on. He was like, "Hey guys," I was like, "Oh my god, I love him. He's so cute." Definitely HR. I did like him.
Vash, which one was your favorite?
I should have expected this from James to access at the end of the show because I just wish he told us this behind the scenes so I could have more prep time to think about it. But damn, I was in the moment.
To put you on the spot.
As much as I could say any of them is Earth 2 Wells because he was the most broken. Yeah, all of them are the other Wells. Like Cisco and Barry said in episode 2, that all Wells comes to our lives, but they leave with learning something. But Earth 2 was broken, but he also helped build the team from what happened with Dawn, because the team couldn't trust another Wells and everything. And but the one that gave the most message, the most lessons, most important to Barry, is to always have hope, and that's what those were the last message, the last lines that Wells, before he passed in episode one, said, always have hope. You are the hope of the team, your hope of yourself and everything. And to me, that's very beautiful because that's any human as well can learn themselves, is that we're humans at the end of the day. And if you lose hope, you lose any faith in you to move on to the next day. And that Wells was my favorite. If I have to exclude, Earth 2 is the most recent one,
Yeah.
Indiana version, because he was the most lost of them all, and what Cisco told him of an advice, because he said that you may be the most least special out of them all, but that makes you special because out of all those smartest one of Sherlock and all the other ones, you are the
Sherlock.
most
She
you are the
look.
most non-special of them, but that's what makes you special. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
anime reference. But Asta, he has the most least non-special magical powers, but that's what makes him special, and that's what I find about Indiana Jones Wells, because he was special in his own way, in his own unique way, and that's what most people could try to achieve and do at the best that they can each week and each day.
Yeah. Harry was definitely my favorite. Earth 2 Wells. Like
Mhm.
he was the genius, like watching him and Cisco play off of each other, like when they didn't agree, and then like they became nice.
It,
I love.
it,
And
it's
they
because John
became
said
really close. Hmm?
it's because John said I'm Batman, but I'm not Batman. I'm actually Nightwing. So I'll take that like that. So that's why I was showing the cup.
Yeah, but I love the friendship between Harry and Cisco, and how he was a great mentor and friend to the Flash and to Caitlin as well. HR would definitely be my second favorite, and then Sherlock, because I just love like the Sherlock Holmes detective Harrison Wells. That was also this genius. So I love that. I love the Council of Wells. Like Tom
Yes.
Cavanaugh's the goat, man. Like, but I absolutely love Harry. Like he's my favorite, hands down. But the end of episode 2 led us into Mirror Master literally turning the citizens of Central City into mirror duplicates and sending all the real versions into the Mirrorverse because she's losing her mind. So I'm very curious to see how they're going to wrap this up in the mid-season finale. And then I'm pretty sure the second half of the season is supposed to be Godspeed slash Reverse Flash, and then season 8 is supposed to be Reverse Flash. So can't wait to see where it goes. I'm really, really excited. This Mirror Master has not really sold me on her
Yeah.
abilities. I like that the new season is kind of making Cecile the new top and making Iris the new Mirror Master. So that's going to be interesting because Cisco doesn't have his powers anymore. So Team Flash also needs more people with powers. I don't know why. But I feel like they need to give Iris something to do. So, real quick, let's talk about that before we go. Like, Spicy, how do you feel about the potential of Iris becoming the new Mirror Master?
Cause when I was like going through when I was like, yeah, like I kind of like can control this now. I was like, so we're doing like the Speed Force thing again. Like we're just giving her like powers and then take them away type thing. Like either make it where she keeps one like and keep going or not. Like that's like giving like you said Lois a power here and there, and then her like being like, oh, oopsies, like it's just I don't like when they do that, and I feel like they do because like, oh well, Bear's a speedster. He needs help. Who else but his wife? I understand that, but she can do that in her own way. It's just I just feel like I don't like that same trope type things. I feel they need that in order for her to be like strong when she's really just strong by herself. Like I love her as a reporter, and I feel like they need to expand more on that with her as a reporter. Cause they did that in season 2, 3. Like she was reporting, like she used to work. So it's like I just don't like when they're like, well, let's give her powers because it's easier that way. And it's just like I don't know, like just expand more of her as a character, not as like giving her these half-ass powers. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I don't want her to be the new Mirror Master. I really hope that the abilities go away at some point because, like you already said, Spicy, like if you look at season 6, like she's doing so much with her own blog right now and her own like newspaper. Like she has Camilla, she has Allegra, she has a team they together were investigating Black Hole completely separate from Team Flash. Like, give me more of that stuff. Like, I don't want her to end up with mirror powers. Vash, like, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the potential of her being the new Mirror Master if that's the direction they're going in?
So while you guys were talking, I was trying to search up how many episodes is this season gonna have. They haven't yet announced it yet, so I'm curious about that. But for Iris, stop giving her powers, for God's sake.
Please.
Just stop. Like Lois Lane, these characters, just make them a strong, independent woman as they are from the comics. You don't need to give them, yeah, for an arc, sure, but like you don't need to do it. Like you gave her speed in back in season 5 or 6 was it, or no 5 or 4 was it? But you don't need to give her powers. If you give her powers from Mirror Master, like okay, I get it. Her brain or her molecular cells been here in the mirror world for so long, so she has a connection with it. But like really, like she's Iris West from the comics. She's the anchor of Barry Allen, the fastest man alive. She's a reporter, just like Lois Lane. You don't need to give her powers. Like this storyline of her just pissing the fuck off. Like really, like when I saw her controlling the mirror, I'm like, bitch, what the fuck you doing?
Just they do it all the time, and like
no,
I don't like it.
What? Like
I hope it's just temporary because she was just inside of that universe, and then once she leads, like the powers will subside. That's what I'm hoping.
Cause I don't know, cause like with the whole speed thing, when Nora came, oh well, she has purple and yellow lightning. Like when I have my speed powers, like it's a development. This is our daughter, and I was just like, okay, like
that was lame.
It was so lame. It was so lame. I'm like, how was that needed to be said? Like, I don't know. I just stop giving her powers and just expand on her character. Like I want her to I want her to do more, like more with this new meta girl. I don't know her name. I don't care for her, but expand more on her. I don't care for her. She's boring. I'm sorry. Like I want her cousin is cool. I was like, yeah, her cousin. I was like, I want to see more of her cousin. And it's like mysterious, like assassin training in metas, but like her herself, she's boring. She just cries. She's like, oh, I thought I knew you, Nash, and I was like, why are you upset? Like I was just like, who is this girl? Why are you upset? You don't know this man, so why are you upset? You know he's from a different Earth, so why are you upset?
The CW.
Like
the same thing with Wally. They did it with Jesse. They just do it with every new character. Even Ralph too, but I mean Ralph never grew on me. Like I said before, I don't give a shit about Ralph. Like he could have died. He can stay in hiding. I don't give a shit. I hate Ralph.
But at the end of the day, Ralph is never gonna show up. So I'm really curious to know how they're gonna exclude or say that Ralph disappear, or are they gonna recast?
He's on vacation.
A long vacation.
I think they're gonna kill him.
You do?
Yeah. Because, I mean, what else are you going to do? They're never going to bring back the actor, so they might as well just kill him while he's in hiding. At this
point, it's up to God's ears, because I don't really know. I feel they're running out of creative ideas with this stuff, because it's like
we spoke briefly as well about Kayla and everything. Like she's back, she doesn't need, because last year she was pregnant and everything, and now. Like, what's her role now? Like, what is her role? What's her job in this Team Flash? Is she just going to be the one that's just to be a sidekick for Barry, since Cisco and my dude's going to literally just be working together and engineering the whole artificial speed force again? So what is she doing? And plus our girl Allegra, is she going to be working the whole bureau by herself? So like, what are these roles for these characters? They're going to be consistent? Are they going to be switching the roles? Or are they going to be disappearing throughout some episodes because of budget and everything? So I'm really curious to know how's it going to go.
I hope they have Snow be her own person, what they're doing. I hope they have her go out and take more lead in certain things, because they're really expanding a lot on her sassy character, like you said, the comics, what have you. So I really hope they continue that, because I'm loving Frost. I'm loving her so much, and he's coming up things, like she's just.
I love her personality. It's amazing.
I love it. She's so sassy, and like I said, like watching the movies, she is just like that. And I feel like Danielle Panabaker, she does a good job at it, and she's grown a lot in this character, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, she's amazing. I would love to see Killer Frost do some more stuff like on her own, like when like her and Cisco do like these like Atlantis missions. Like I would love for them to just take an episode and just have us go on that journey. But that's a lot of budget. That's a lot of stuff they would have to do to get
A
that
lot of
done.
budget and our rights because Aquaman is only for the movies.
For now,
Oh,
yeah, we'll see how that
Aqualad.
goes. Yeah, they can do
Calder. They could
Aqualad.
do
Yeah,
Calderon.
yeah,
Calderon,
That's
please.
probably for Titans, is what they said as well.
Oh, I would love to. Calderon is. I'm so happy they made Calderon just for Young Justice because that's a beautiful man that they made.
And plus, the voice actor does an amazing job for it too.
Oh yeah, Carrie Payne. Is Carrie Payne
I
does his voice?
I'm
I
not sure.
forgot his name. That's why I just mentioned the voice actor, but
I think
he does a fantastic job for it.
he does a lot of
Yeah.
voices of that Young Justice, like a lot of.
He does. Like I think like 6 or 8 of them.
He does a lot. He's like Cree Summer. They do everything animated. She was actually on Young Justice too. She played Aqua Girl, the one that died.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's gonna be the show for tonight. Spicy, it was so great to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
Let the people know where they can find you online.
Yeah, so y'all can catch me on Spicy Lady Entertainment on Instagram, Spicy Lady ENT on Twitter, Spicy Lady Talks by Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. I post every other Saturday, so we have a one being posted next weekend, which is cool. And I think that's the My Hero one, the review one. So and ours is posted sometime in April with the Attack on Titan. So that, and also check out my Patreon Spicy Entertainment. I have a huge project, I keep saying this, that I'm working on this weekend actually. So I'm very excited for that. So anything helps, just go check that out. You guys get like week podcast a week in advance, all that fun stuff and extra content. So go check that out. And yeah, and on my my YouTube, Specialty Talks as well. New videos, review videos coming soon. I might review this new Justice League film. I have to see. But yeah.
Yeah, Vash.
You can find me here every week on Friday with James, and if we're not here on Friday, you'll find out on the Twitter. Follow us there on the C4S spoilers, and definitely I myself, Legendary Vash, and definitely check out the C4S Discord server as well, because maybe we'll be watching the Justice League Zack Snyder in that server, Thursday, because I don't work that day. So if you want to have a little watch party, definitely watch there, because if you don't have an HBO Max account, you'll be watching it with somebody that does.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would actually be kind of a cool idea to have like a little watch party so everyone can watch the Snyder Cut together. But you guys know you can find me here on the channel every single Friday with my boy Vash, so we can do C4S villains. Thursday is the Snyder Cut. Friday is Falcon and Winter Soldier. On Friday night's show, we will be talking about both of those. That's going to be a lot of fun. We will continue to talk about Superman and Lois. We're going to continue to talk about The Flash because those shows are really good right now. So next Friday and beyond are going to be really, really stacked. Invincible is also starting really, really soon.
This Friday?
This Friday, too, yeah. So Villains is going to be absolutely stacked. So stay tuned to our account on Twitter at C4 spoilers for updates on the different topics that we're going to have on the show. Chat, thank you guys so much for being here. John, Scuba, Steve, we had Brees in the chat. Brian was in chat. Everyone that showed up, Mercenary, I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, we'll see you guys.
And plus, for those that watch it later, like, comment, and subscribe as well. It's gladly appreciated for you guys here as a support. Get us to the 500 subs before the end of the month. It's gladly appreciated. Thank you. We're almost at the 16 of this month. We're almost there. So please, get us there 500. We're at less than 80. Just get us there.
Yeah, get us there. That would be great. I would love to get monetized sometime this year. But I mean, you can always support the channel. You can support C4S on the Patreon. All of those links are down below. You can find all of Spicy's links for our social media, and the podcast links are all in the description below. But yeah, we will see you guys on the next one.